10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh my God, it's getting wild in here, and let's take it a little more higher. Can I see all the hands in the air? I'm going to make it a little easy for all of you. Let me see all the hands in the air. Everyone. Yes, all the beautiful people out here. One more time, let me see all the hands in the air. And like I said, I'm going to make it a little easy for all of you, and all you have to do is clap. So 3, 2, 1, clap. So the moment I say clap, all of you are going to clap. 3, 2, 1, clap. 3, 2, 1, clap. 3, 2, 1, clap. Wow. So here we go. Clap. 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 So everyone out here. So we aren't over yet. Clap it out, everyone out here. Clap. So let me see the energy in the hall, sitting people out here. Let me see all the hands in the air. Clap.
Give it up for that absolutely riveting, outstanding performance. Hello, welcome. Thank you all so much for being here. It gives me great pleasure in welcoming you all to Amazon Smbhav 2025. Hello, namaskar. My name is Vikram Chandra, and it's great to have all of you here with me. Big audience here. Thank you all for being here. All of you watching from your homes. Thank you for joining us on the live stream. Do remember, all the events that we are having, everything that we are doing through the day is all going to be available for you on your screens at home. Now, today marks the 6th edition of Smbhav, the 3rd time that I'm hosting it. And every year, Smbhav has become bigger. It's become grander. It's become more wonderful. The dreams, the scale of the ambition that we are seeing out here always has got better and better and bigger and bigger. And the theme that we are talking about today, Viksit India Ki Taiyari. What does that mean? Be ready. Get ready for Viksit India. If you have to build a developed India, you've got to get ready for it. And I have to tell you, that's a theme that really resonates with me because that's something I've been talking about all year long on my India Story podcast since the last Amazon Smbhav. If Viksit India has to come, if developed India has to come, it's not going to miraculously pop up in some manner in 2047. You've got to work for it. You've got to get taiyar for it. You have to get ready for it. You have to build it. You have to build it every year, every month, every day, every hour. And that's really what we are here to be talking about right now. You've got to keep building this. Preparing for the future isn't just a mission. It's a mindset. And today, we're going to be talking about all of that. There are going to be great fireside chats out here, presentations and workshops showing how simple tools and smart thinking can turn an idea into a real profitable business. While all of you are here, do remember to visit the Smbhav Pavilion, check out the Viksit AI Dome, an interactive space where you can see firsthand how Amazon is using AI to empower sellers, customers, developers, and entire industries. You'll get the chance to experience the future of AI in action. If you're watching online, follow us on Sellers of Amazon on Instagram and LinkedIn for live updates through the day. Since 2020, Smbhav has been on an incredible journey, turning potential into possibilities and dreams into reality. With this technology and with all the brilliant minds that are here today, we are bringing India closer to Viksit Bharat, to Viksit India, a self-reliant and globally competitive nation which is ready for tomorrow. Every idea we nurture, every solution we build, every business we empower, it all moves us towards that future. So, get ready for a day of energy, inspiration, and actionable ideas because today is about creating possibilities together. And remember, Sab Sambhav hai.
The dynamism, the energy. Everywhere I go here, I meet people who are interested in self-improvement, in growth. This country has something special.
जज्बे से भरा, इरादों से बना, हुनर से सजा, कुछ खास है इंडिया में, इसलिए तो यहां सब कुछ संभव है। जीरो सेल्स से 15 लाख पर मंथ संभव है। एक नए कॉस्मेटिक ब्रांड का 300% ग्रोथ संभव है। 3 साल में 15 लाख से 1 करोड़ 50 लाख तक नए ब्रांड को ले जाना संभव है। बनारस के बुनकर के हाथों की करामात दुनिया भर में पहुंचाना संभव है। रामदास सांगले और हजारों किसान जो ऑर्गेनिक खेती का सपना पूरा करना चाहते हैं, उनको सशक्त करना संभव है। बलिया से वाइजैग, किन्नौर से कैलिफोर्निया, छोटे कदमों से बड़ी छलांग संभव है। हम सिर्फ हौसला बढ़ाते हैं, क्योंकि जब सपने उड़ान भरते हैं तभी तो आत्मनिर्भर इंडिया संभव है। करोड़ों किसान, कारीगर, सहेलियां, एंटरप्रेन्योर्स और कस्टमर्स आज हमसे जुड़े हैं और कर रहे हैं विकसित इंडिया की तैयारी।
Please welcome Sameer Kumar, Country Manager, Amazon India.
Namaste and good morning, everyone. It's wonderful to be here at the 6th edition of Amazon Smbhav. Among entrepreneurs, creators, builders, the people who power India's future. Many of you know my love for cricket. So let me begin with a moment that moved the entire nation. Just a few weeks ago, India watched with pride as our women's cricket team lifted the World Cup. Their grit, their composure, and belief didn't just win a trophy, they brought the country together. Today we are honored to have champions Harmanpreet Kaur and Smriti Mandhana with us. Their journey is a powerful reminder of what becomes possible when talent meets opportunity and when nation believes in itself. In many ways, the same spirit of possibility is what Smbhav stands for. This Smbhav is personally special. It marks 1 year since I returned to lead Amazon India, and rejoining the team felt like coming home for me. When we launched Amazon.in, we were a really small team with one small fulfillment center in Mumbai and one big dream: to offer Indian customers great value, unmatched selection, and true convenience. From day one, our mission was clear: to digitize and empower small sellers, to bring artisans, entrepreneurs, and Kirana stores online, and to connect with them, with customers across India and the world. I have personally seen the courage of small sellers who took their very first digital steps with Amazon. And we have always believed that Amazon's success is deeply tied to their success. Our journey in India has been one of partnership, learning, and resilience, shaped at every step by our sellers, our delivery partners, customers, and the team who make this ecosystem come alive. As India's digital economy evolved, Amazon evolved with it, adapting, innovating, and learning at every step. And what a journey it has been. In just over a decade, we have become part of the millions of lives and livelihoods across India. Amazon has become home for small businesses and entrepreneurs. And there is no better place that captures the pulse of India's entrepreneurial spirit than this forum, Smbhav. When we started Smbhav in 2020, the goal was simple: to celebrate India's entrepreneurial spirit, exchange ideas, reimagine what's possible when innovation meets intent. From a small gathering, it has grown into one of India's most dynamic platforms for entrepreneurship and digital transformation. When we started this journey, we made 3 big pledges to digitally enable 10 million small businesses, to drive 20 billion in exports out of India, and to support 2 million jobs by 2025. Today, I'm proud to share that we have delivered on all 3 of them. We have enabled 12 million small businesses to join India's digital ecosystem. Sellers on Amazon have crossed $20 billion in cumulative exports out of India. In 2024 alone, our investments supported close to 2.8 million jobs. Behind each milestone is a dream that found wings, a business that scaled, a livelihood that is strengthened. These achievements are not Amazon's alone. They are India's achievements. Before we go ahead, I want to take a moment and reflect on 2025. It's been a great year where we have done a lot of work for our sellers, our customers, and the community at large. First, for our sellers, this year we have doubled down on making it easier and more lucrative for them to grow online. We introduced our highest ever reduction in selling cost, including 0 referral fees on over 1.2 crore products across 135 categories. Our goal is simple: reduce the friction, lower the cost of doing business, and help every entrepreneur build sustainably on Amazon. Because when our sellers grow, we grow. For our customers, we double down on speed with expansion of our network across the country. We invested $233 million, 2,000 crores, to build 17 new fulfillment centers, 6 new sortation centers, and 75 new delivery stations that are helping us deliver the fastest we ever have to customers across India. For customers in Delhi, Bangalore, and Mumbai, we rolled out and expanded Amazon Now, and we continue to grow that part of our business rapidly with 2 new micro-fulfillment centers being set up every day. I want to take a moment to talk about something that's very close to my heart, our Amazon Future Engineer program. Since its launch in 2021, AFE has trained over 3 million government school students and 20,000 teachers across 272 districts in 8 states of India. Our first graduating class achieved an 80% placement rate with young women from government schools, now working at Fortune 500 companies, including Amazon. These are not just numbers. These are not just numbers, they are stories of confidence, mobility, and opportunity. The theme of this year's Smbhav, Viksit India Ki Tayari, reflects the spirit of progress we are building towards. As we look ahead, technologies like artificial intelligence will define the next wave of opportunities. For companies like Amazon and for millions of small businesses and customers across India, sellers are using AI for listing creations, catalog enrichment, and deep business insights. You'll hear a lot more on this during the day. Customers are discovering products in a smart, more intuitive ways. Our own teams are using AI to make their work easier, faster, and more efficient. Our goal is simple: to democratize advanced technologies like AI and machine learning so they become tools for every entrepreneur, not just a few. We are looking at a fantastic moment for our country. India is projected to become world's third largest economy by 2030, a reflection of our collective ambition and energy. Government initiatives like Digital India, Atmanirbhar Bharat, and Make in India have created a foundation that is globally competitive and locally empowering. For us, our mission remains unchanged: to partner with India in its growth journey, empowering every entrepreneur, every small businesses, and every customer through the power of technology. As we open Smbhav 2025, I want to express my heartfelt gratitude to the government, to our sellers, to our customers, and to every single Amazonian across the country. Thank you for your trust, your support, and your belief in what we can build together. I am deeply inspired by India's next generation, the entrepreneurs in this room, and the millions building quietly across the country. The next decade will belong to those who dream boldly, learn constantly, and build fearlessly, with technology in their hand and imagination in their heart. We often say progress is a team sport. And India's growth story is the finest example of that. This platform somehow exists because of our shared belief that progress comes through partnership. Throughout the day, you'll hear incredible stories of innovation, transformations, and possibilities. And of course, you'll hear from our World Cup champions, whose journey shows that when India sets its mind to something, we don't just participate, we excel. With that, once again, a warm welcome to all of you. Together, let's imagine boldly, build fearlessly, and believe deeply. Because in today's India, sab sambhav hai. Thank you all. Dhanyavad.
हमारे देश के लोगों में जज्बा बेमिसाल है और अब इस जज्बे को एआई का साथ मिल रहा है। अब हम वो ताकत बनने को तैयार हैं जो सिर्फ आसमान छुएगी नहीं, उसे भेद देगी। हम नई मिसालें बनाने को तैयार हो रहे हैं। हम विकसित इंडिया के लिए तैयार हो रहे हैं।
टेक्नोलॉजी के दम पे, एआई की रिदम पे उड़ान भर रहा है ये देश हर कदम पे। रफ्तार है गजब की और खूबियां है सारी, अब विकसित इंडिया बनने की है तैयारी।
कारीगरों का हाथ बटाने टेक्नोलॉजी की बाहें होंगी। किसानों को नए नुस्खे, नए तरीके मिलेंगे। Amazon का सपना है कि किसानों को मेहनत का दुगना फल मिले और देश का हर हुनरमंद सशक्त बने।
कोई भी हो जरूरत, कैसी भी जानकारी, सब हो सकेंगे चुटकियों में काम भारी भारी। अब वक्त और मेहनत दोनों बचा सकेंगे, एआई और सपने अब साथ में चलेंगे।
हमारी नई पीढ़ी के एंटरप्रेन्योर्स बड़े सपने देखते हैं और इन सपनों को पूरा करने में इनका साथी बना है Amazon। बेहतर जानकारी, बेहतर सुझाव और बेहतरीन प्लानिंग अब मुमकिन है। अब एआई इनसे कदम मिलाकर चल रहा है।
मुश्किलों से लड़ने का जिनमें है जज्बा, अब हाथों में उनके औजार है गजब का। सुझाव चाहिए हो या प्लान हो बनाना, एक प्रॉम्प्ट दे सकेगा आइडियाज का खजाना। पेचीदगी हो कितनी सब में मदद करेगा, एआई इस सफर में अब हम सफर बनेगा।
इस नई पहल का उद्देश्य है कि ये हमें ऐसी दिशा में ले जाए जहां हम टेक्नोलॉजी में किसी से भी पीछे ना रहें, जहां प्रगति और सशक्ति एक साथ चले और एक सशक्त विकसित राष्ट्र का निर्माण हो।
ये देश आत्मनिर्भर अब और हो रहा है, सीनों में हौसलों के ये बीज बो रहा है। रफ्तार है गजब की है खूबियां भी सारी, अब विकसित इंडिया बनने की है तैयारी।
Amazon संभव अब इंडिया के साथ है एआई की ताकत। अब विकसित इंडिया बनने की तैयारी शुरू हो चुकी है।
Well, that was a really interesting take on the sheer force of human ingenuity enabled by the possibilities of AI. And AI is really continuing to transform and become more and more stronger with every passing day. Now, looking ahead to India's next chapter of digital growth, it's more important than ever before to understand the opportunities with AI and the shared foundation that Amazon is building, and also what India is doing in all of these areas. Our next conversation brings together two leaders at the crossroads of global vision and India's accelerating momentum. Please do welcome Amit Agarwal, Senior VP Emerging Markets, Amazon, a familiar face at Smbhav, who's of course been instrumental in shaping Amazon's long-term vision for India. Joining him, once again, great pleasure to have Russell Grandinetti, Senior Vice President, International Stores, Amazon, bringing his global perspective from some of Amazon's most diverse markets. Amit, Russell, welcome back. It's great to be here talking to you. I think this reignites a conversation back from 2023 that we were having. Amit, the journey so far, it's been, what, 20 years of Amazon in India, 6th edition of Smbhav. Where the time is flying, no one knows, but what's your sense of the journey?
I mean, first of all, welcome everyone to Smbhav, the 6th edition, and welcome, Vikram. You have become like a regular with us, so Smbhav without you is also not Smbhav.
Yes.
So glad to have you. The energy and enthusiasm in the room is just always energizing, and I was outside looking at what's on display, so I highly encourage you to experience it. To your question, we have come a long way. If you kind of just go back for context for the audience, Amazon started in India in 2003. This was our first development center. And in 2013, we launched Amazon.in. And I was fortunate to be part of both milestones. And if you look from there, like as Samir pointed out, starting with one fulfillment center, 100 sellers, to today, 43 million cubic feet of fulfillment space, pan-India logistics, empowering more than 1.7 million sellers who are serving the largest selection of products across India, making Amazon India's apni dukaan. And then just taking that global is just very, very exciting. I think it's even more exciting that our journey has been intertwined with just the evolution of e-commerce in the country, and what we do on a daily basis is so perfectly aligned with the priorities that you talked about, which is Atmanirbhar Bharat and Viksit Bharat. So super exciting, very energizing, and I can assure you we're just getting started.
Right. Change is happening really fast, Russ. It's great to have you back here at Smbhav. Since you were last here, do you think India is changing in ways that are standing out for you?
Well, Amit and I have been coming here not just to watch our business, but to see what's happening for a long time. And I mean, the constant when I come here is things are always changing. I mean, the last time I came here and we had this conversation, it was the week that India became the first country to land a spacecraft on the lunar South Pole. You know, so there's, and obviously since then, whether it's AI or whether it's the growth of quick commerce or whether it's just the growth and change and expansion here, it is energizing. I have the privilege of managing Amazon in all the countries of the world outside the US and Canada for our e-commerce business. And the future is frequently here first. So one of the things that I look for is what's happening here that's inevitably going to become part of how we run our business around the world. And there's always something that inspires me.
That's actually interesting what you said. You said that in the innovation and the things that are happening, it's quite often happening in India first and then being replicated.
Yeah, like the science fiction writer William Gibson was fond of saying, the future is unevenly distributed. The future is already here, it's just unevenly distributed. And frequently, our future in other parts of the world is distributed here first. So both the things that we build, consumers enjoy regularly. So the ubiquity of quick commerce today in India, really current state here in Delhi and Mumbai, Bangalore, etc. I mean, we're now running this business in many other places in the world, but India is a place that's really pushed us to develop our skill in this area quite considerably.
Right, that's fascinating. Amit, Samir did touch upon it, but 5 years ago at this very forum, you and Jeff Bezos laid out some fairly ambitious goals for what you want to do and achieve in India. Are you happy with the progress that Amazon's made? Things that you think, where else could you have done things faster? Look back at that journey.
Yeah, I mean, as Samir pointed out, this is a 6th edition, and when Jeff was here in 2020, that was the first edition of Smbhav, he made a bold claim. He said, 21st century is India's century. And we have been pretty much very firm in that belief as we have moved through doing our daily activities, because as I said, it firmly aligns with India's priorities. And we continue to build Amazon with a lot of pride that what we do on a daily basis is a catalyst to driving that vision of unleashing India's potential in the 21st century. So if I kind of just dimensionalize this, if I look at 2010 to 2024, Amazon has invested $40 billion across its businesses. Samir shared some of the pledges that we have made during that time, since our last time we made those pledges public. We have digitized 12 million small businesses. We have enabled over $20 billion in cumulative exports. And if you just look at 2024 alone, we supported 2.8 million direct, indirect, and seasonal jobs. These milestones are, as much as a celebration of all the SMBs and entrepreneurs in this room who have been part of that journey with us. It's a celebration for our associates that power this ecosystem every single day, delivering to customers, and more than 100,000 Amazon employees in this country who are working towards not only just enabling what we do in India, but globally, for Amazon globally. So it's a lot of progress. We have come a lot way, and I'm very excited to share that based on the investments that we have made and the pledges that we have achieved, Amazon is the largest foreign investor in the country. Amazon is the largest, it's the largest creator of exports in the country, and it is one of the largest creator of jobs in the country. That's a huge accomplishment for something that started with one fulfillment center not too long ago.
Well, so this is then having met all of those targets, it's the perfect time to try and ask you for the window ahead, fresh targets that you might be thinking of. I mean, if India is accelerating and the investment is accelerating, I'm sure you've got some fairly ambitious targets in the roadmap in the years that lie ahead.
Yeah, I think at the very base of it, just India continues to be Amazon's one of the largest long-term opportunities. I mean, we have just gotten started. There is so much opportunity ahead as India becomes Viksit. So when I look forward 5 years, I would just caution that I'm guaranteed to be wrong. And it's likely to be a much bigger impact than what I can even dream of today. But we estimate that we are going to invest over $35 billion incrementally across our businesses. And when I look at the 3 pillars that we set for ourselves as a part of the Smbhav platform, we would continue to measure our progress along those 3 pillars, which happen to be digitization, job creation, and exports. So when I look at kind of what's next for us over the next 5 years, we anticipate that the momentum that we have with exports right now, and through other programs that the team is introducing, including Accelerate Exports, we estimate that we would create a cumulative $80 billion of exports by 2030.
$80 billion of
$80 billion of cumulative exports by 2030. When we look at job creation, so let me just give you an idea of 2024 itself. What happens is each time you open up a fulfillment center or a logistics space, a delivery station, you create thousands, hundreds and thousands of jobs around it. In directly, indirectly, seasonal jobs in the industries that support that. So just in 2024, we opened up 17 new fulfillment centers, 6 sortation centers, and 75 delivery stations. So when we look at our business over the next 5 years as we continue serving India, we anticipate that by 2030, we would be supporting 3.8 million new jobs, both direct, indirect, and seasonal jobs. That is an incremental 1 million jobs by 2030. And then finally, you know, as a theme of today's event, Viksit Bharat Ki Tayari, with AI very prominently highlighted there, it's probably the largest disruption that all of us are part of. And we want to, at Amazon, make AI accessible to millions of customers and sellers. So we are taking a pledge to introduce AI to over 15 million small businesses through our activities. We want to improve our experience to have hundreds of millions of Indians experience AI. And then finally, we are so proud of our CSR efforts through Amazon Future Engineer and just focus on education that we want to bring AI to 4 million government school children and invest in AI literacy. So overall, you know, very excited about what's to come in the next 5 years.
Those are exciting numbers. I'm just trying to make sure I've got them down so I can remind you about them 5 years from now and see to the extent to which you've probably beaten them. You said $35 billion of investment, $80 billion of exports, 3.8 million jobs. Did I get all that correct?
That's correct.
All right, fantastic. I'm going to come and get some more details on some of that from you, especially the exports number. But Ras, if I could turn to you next. When you look at your entire international portfolio, which you have, how important is India in that, both from the point of view of what you're doing here, the opportunities from which may be arising from here from growth and innovation elsewhere? How important is India for you?
Well, it's extremely important on many levels. We've been saying this, of course, for a long time, but look, the numbers that Amit just cited imply, as you would expect, that India is already, and we expect will continue to be, one of the largest marketplaces we operate in the world. So just on its own, the size, mass, growth potential of our business in India makes it extremely important to us. I'd also say, going back to the point I made, there are many things we build and invent here which would be enough just to be competitive in India, but then make Amazon stronger elsewhere. So if you look at a program like Easy Ship, or Seller Flex, or I Have Space, those are things that we built because we needed to make our business in India the best we could. The idea of, in Seller Flex, letting one of our sellers create a virtual node in our fulfillment network was something we built to be competitive here, but it's now operating in many countries around the world. All those programs I just mentioned are now in many places. And in fact, today, even if we look at quick commerce and the Amazon Now capability that Amit touched on and Samir mentioned, we operate similar quick commerce capability in the UAE, in Egypt, in Mexico. We recently actually just launched in the US, and a lot of that technology was built first here in India. Maybe one other thing I'll add is so much of Amazon's leadership around the world and so much of our capability are the employees and the talent that we found here. So, I mean, I know Samir said how excited he was to come back to India, but he was doing great things for Amazon other places for a long time, and there are so much of our team here that's had a huge impact on our company globally. So the business that we're building, the capabilities that we have to build to compete here that make Amazon stronger around the world, and the talent that we find here just make it, you know, such an incredibly important part of our business.
Right, that's good to hear. Let me just shift the focus a little bit to AI, which is obviously becoming a more and more important part of the conversation of everything that's happening. It's there in the logo of Viksit India Ki Taiyari. AI is embedded in that. How are you thinking about AI in all that you're doing, specifically in India, but perhaps also at a broader level?
Well, Amit and I are 25-year plus. I've been at Amazon, actually in a couple weeks it'll be 28 years, which means that I was working at Amazon during the first wave of the internet, back when it was the first time anyone dialed up to find a website and order something online. And if you had asked somebody then this question, which is, how do you see the internet affecting your business? Now, in hindsight, it's not that it's a silly question, but it's hard to imagine a part of the business that hasn't been fundamentally changed by the existence of the internet. And I think the set of AI technologies that we're all, that we see growing today are perhaps the largest technological change since the advent of the commercial internet. You could argue on the same level or more. So there isn't any part of the business that we don't see already changing, and certainly this change will compound in the future. So on the seller side today, we have things like Seller Assistant, which allow a seller to ask simple, straightforward questions about what capabilities we have that can power their business. And they'll be tailored to who they are, what product they make, where they want to sell, what their goals are as a business. We have capabilities that allow a seller to just give us a product image and we'll build fantastic product detail pages powered by AI. Or advertising tools that are AI driven that allow them to build, and even small businesses can build incredibly compelling advertising content. And of course on the customer side, we have technologies like Rufus, which allow for personalized, highly tailored, AI-driven queries on the website to help your shopping experience be better. And then within the company, even how business is done, how we work with each other, how we do work individually ourselves is all changing very quickly. So, I mean, this is the kind of thing that is only going to compound. The methods that I see our teams using today are totally different than a year ago. So projecting into the future is difficult, but there's no question it's transforming our business and then the business we do with customers and sellers.
Right, sounds really exciting. I mean, I'm just going to come back to one of the things that we were talking about, exports. Now, obviously, these are challenging times, and especially here in India, everyone's got their eyes on that 50% tariffs that the United States has on India and what's going to happen there. So is that something that you're also talking to people about here about? How can Amazon actually help India in getting to those export targets that you were mentioning, and perhaps also expand globally away to other markets?
Yeah, I'll start with that interaction that I had yesterday with a group of sellers. Whenever I'm here in India, we like to do like a seller connect, just get some of our sellers together and listen to them. And it's just amazing that the ideas that sellers have, the new kinds of brands that are being created in India, and these brands are being created for really high quality products to compete at global scale. So there is a lot happening, and a lot is going to happen in the coming years. Now, from Amazon perspective, what we did in 2015 was launch this program that we call Global Selling. The program essentially empowers businesses of all sizes with a mobile app to be able to dream of a product that they have, invest in their idea, build the product out, but leave all the muck to us. All the way from thinking about how they should package their product and ship their product and get it to the customer and handle returns, handle customs. And all of these things are becoming easier by the year, by the month, by the day, as you think about technology, and then as you think about the power of AI. You have sellers from India that are creating new brands, that are prominent brands that even on Black Friday sale, you would find a lot of the brands, successful brands in toys and healthcare and organic food and Ayurveda and many such categories that are out of India and successful. Now, global selling, as the term indicates, allows you to create a global marketplace for your product. It allows sellers to sell in 200 plus countries and locations. We have sellers from India selling in the US, UK, Saudi Arabia, Egypt, UAE, Australia, and across our 18 marketplaces. And we have more than 200,000 sellers from 200 plus cities in the country now selling on that. So I think even so in these circumstances where there is geopolitical uncertainty, I think a brand that is manufacturing products in India would want to have a global audience for their product and have global customers. And I think global selling and Amazon is even more positioned to make that happen for them.
So that's interesting. So if I understand what you're saying, you could be targeting in your own mind market A or market B, but thanks to global selling, once you're out there, if there's uncertainty or problems or tariffs, it's easy to pivot to another country and suddenly find another audience, which might actually take you by surprise.
Yeah, I mean, you can let customers decide. All you have to think about is building a great product that can compete at global scale. Let Amazon do the hard work for you to connect your product with hundreds of millions of customers globally.
Right, that's interesting. Now, I do want to come back to something that you did speak about, which is quick commerce, because obviously that's been a sudden major disruption which has taken many people by surprise at the scale and the extent of what's happening and how you're suddenly getting deliveries in 10 minutes or 15 minutes. Talk to us about that. How has that shaped Amazon's thinking about e-commerce globally, and how is India contributing to the evolution? You referred to it, but if you could share more details.
Yeah, sure. Of course, I would say for us, speed has been a passion for the entire time I've worked at the company. In fact, in our e-commerce business, the most basic way you could explain the business is give customers everything they want to buy, have the prices be as good or better than the other choices they have, and get it to them faster than any other option they have. So we've been thinking, of course, 25 years ago, just the fact that we connected your PC to your doorbell and you ordered something and 6 days later a book came to your house in the early days, that felt like magic to people. Of course, very quickly, that became very normal and almost boring. And so we've constantly built, even things like Prime in the US, the ability to say most things you'll order will come in 2 days felt entirely innovative when we launched it. And of course, time marches on and that becomes normal, and then we move to 1 day and then we move faster. So, it's fantastic to build your business around a principle that's never going away. Customers are never going to want things more slowly. And so it's very inspiring. And of course, there have been lots of waves of very fast commerce, but the scale and and many parts of how it's being executed in India today are very inspiring. And I actually had the privilege of touring some of our facilities here on Monday, and what our teams here have built, the capabilities they built in a short period of time. Samir mentioned we're opening two micro-fulfillment centers a day now. And so the business has scaled very quickly, and we expect it will again next year. I think for us, the ability to have an expanded selection, some of which comes to you ultra fast, and an order of magnitude or more that come to you maybe a little bit more slowly, but to be able to go to one place and find anything you're looking for is very powerful. It's powerful for the customer, and it's very powerful for us as a business. So we're very excited about this innovation, and we are very optimistic about our ability to grow and compete.
Right. Well, as we bring this session to a close, let me get final comments from both of you. Ras, if I could just start with you. The basic theme is about how India moves towards becoming a truly global economy, a developed country by 2047. It's an exciting journey if that actually happens. What's the role that you see Amazon playing in that journey?
Well, we saw the clip of Jeff, and I think he was at this conference in 2020, and he said the 21st century, as Amit quoted, will be India's. And 5 years later, to look at what's happened, it's hard to imagine him being wrong about that bet. It is just a matter of a couple of years before this is the third largest economy in the world. The rate of change and innovation makes one very, very optimistic. Of course, we're a business. We're making the investments we're making because we see the opportunity. So, the single best way we can express our confidence in making the path that India is on to become Viksit are the actions we're taking as a business, and our optimism is very large, very, very large. We're really looking forward to seeing this business continue to grow at an incredible pace over the next 5 years.
Right, Amit, last words from you. India's rise towards Viksit India, any advice that you have both for the role that Amazon can play in this, and also advice for entrepreneurs? How can they take advantage of the changes that are hopefully around the corner?
As far as just the Amazon businesses in India go, we are very fortunate to be running so many different businesses, each one of them that have a part to and a role to play in the vision of Viksit India. So when I look at our core e-commerce business we talked about, when we look at our entertainment business between Prime Video and MX Player, how we are entertaining every Indian in the country, when we look at our AWS business, how hundreds of thousands of developers and ideas are being brought to life because of the infrastructure that AWS is building. And as I said, across all of these businesses and more, we are investing $35 billion over the next 5 years. So we're very excited about that. And I think a big component of what Viksit Bharat is going to be are the people in this room, the entrepreneurs and the people who are imagining and dreaming about that future. So I guess everybody has their own approach that's going to work for them. I can just share the approach that has worked for us globally, and it's been very much centered around obsess with customers, invent on their behalf, and think long term. And as Russ said, you kind of find those 2 or 3 things that disproportionately matter to customers. In the case of our e-commerce business, we know that customers, even in 2030, when we are here, they would love largest selection that is offering great savings to them at the fastest speeds, and you just double down on it and keep focusing on that. So my advice to the entrepreneurs in this room would be to find those 2 or 3 things that are so important to customers, that are invariant over time, and just insanely focus on that and driving it. From Amazon's perspective, through across our businesses, we are very grateful to be your partner as we together march towards a Viksit Bharat. So thank you for that.
Thank you so much to both of you. I think we've all got lots of insights into what should be done, as we drive towards Viksit India, and also some really interesting headlines on the targets above, and we will, of course, continue to monitor that and track that so closely. Thank you so much. Thanks, Anand. Thanks, Ras. Great. All right, that was really, really interesting. Thank you both for being with us. Now, moving on to our next session, which explores the evolution of e-commerce, and also, as Russ himself was referring to, India's growing role as a global innovation hub, not just for what's happening in India, but also as a lesson to the rest of the world. From supply chain advances to last mile breakthroughs, Amazon's logistic network has been continuing to redefine speed, reliability, and customer experience at scale, and testing it out here. Let's just take a look.
कारोबार हर किस्म का अब हो रहा है डिजिटल, सुविधाएं बढ़ रही है टेक्नोलॉजी से पल पल, बढ़ते हुए जहां में ये देश बढ़ रहा है, प्रगति का एक अद्भुत किस्सा ये गढ़ रहा है। ये देश आत्मनिर्भर अब और हो रहा है, सीनों में हौसलों के ये बीज बो रहा है, रफ्तार है गजब की है खूबियां भी सारी, अब विकसित इंडिया बनने की है तैयारी।
And to share how these innovations are shaping the future of digital commerce and retail in India and beyond, please welcome Abhinav Singh, VP India and Australia Operations, Amazon, and Udit Madan, Senior VP Worldwide Operations, Amazon.
Good morning, everyone. Hi, Adit.
Good morning and hello, Abhinav.
Welcome to Amazon Smbhav.
Thank you for having me.
It's an event that you've supported for many years now. How does it feel like to be here in person, and especially in Delhi, a city that you grew up in?
You know, Delhi holds a really special place in my heart. I was born here, spent a lot of my summers here at my grandparents' home, finished high school here, and if I'm being completely honest, it's probably the city where I've gotten into the most trouble over the years. And so it's really exciting to be back. And it's really exciting to be at Smbhav. As you said, I've been involved in it from the outside for many years, but this is my first time being here. And just walking on the floor this morning, looking at the energy and just the passion that was represented in the room full of builders and founders here was really energizing and quite humbling to see how far it's come. I've been watching and been part of Amazon for about 17 years. I was here working in India for Amazon in 2009 when we just started to think about the India business. I remember when we launched our first fulfillment center in Mumbai, and you take a step back today and you see the 45 million cubic feet of storage we have for products, the 2,000 delivery stations we have in our network, the 28,000 Kirana stores that service Amazon hub points, and just the reach of the network delivering to almost every pin code in the country. It's quite remarkable. Today, a customer in Mumbai or Meghalaya or Ladakh or the Andamans can get the same reach, the same reliability as customers anywhere else in the world, and it's quite remarkable to see what the teams have done. I think a lot of credit goes to the community of sellers and the tens of thousands of Amazon India employees who've been working really hard to build this network and bring it to life, really. I'd also say that it's one thing to see the network, but also another to see the impact the network has had on the country. I think you heard Samir talk about the 2.8 million jobs that are supported by the Amazon ecosystem. And for somebody who's from here, it makes me extremely proud of being part of that. And as you heard from Amit, we're just getting started. And so the future holds far, far more progress than we've seen to date.
No, thank you. Thank you so much, Udit. Somehow I find it hard to imagine you getting into trouble at all. But I could not agree more. Being part of that journey since the first fulfillment center in Mumbai, it's been a humbling, incredible, exciting journey in equal parts. If we zoom out for a moment, just momentarily, and we look at the global outlook and the global network, what are our priorities at Amazon from an investment perspective? And also, how consistent would you say our approach is around the world?
Yeah, I have a unique opportunity with the role I'm in to be able to see both our business as well as our logistics network all around the world, from what we do in Australia to Japan to the US, Europe, Middle East, and of course India. And it is very surprising when I walk into a facility, when I talk to leaders, or I talk to business leaders, just how consistent things actually are. From a consumer standpoint, the focus, as you heard from Russ, on low prices, vast amount of selection, and faster and faster delivery speeds and levels of convenience that increasingly get better is really something that resonates with customers no matter which part of the world you're in. Customers respond to it in a very similar way. They just happen to be in different stages of growth and different stages of what that experience looks like. And then on the operations side, our logistics and fulfillment transportation networks all operate on the same principles. We've had this vision of having the safest, fastest, and most reliable network that can empower sellers as well as serve customers at the lowest cost to serve. And that's in the fabric of our operations network globally. And so it's very consistent, and I think we've also seen a very consistent response. The businesses grow as we work on those inputs, and sellers, as they're more and more successful, more sellers come to the platform, and as a result, we sort of drive growth in the business. It really, the combination of those two things is really what helps us make Amazon the best place to buy and sell for consumers and sellers alike. Now, when I take a step back and look at sort of the priorities that we have right now, I sort of bucket them into two things. The first is speed, and you could have heard a lot about that from Samir, Amit. But around the world, we're seeing customers respond to faster and faster delivery speeds. We're investing in both improving speeds for customers, but also investing in infrastructure that brings those speeds closer to areas that have traditionally not had them. Whether that's rural communities or remote areas of the world, we're doing that in almost every country, whether it's rural Spain, rural parts of the United States, and even here in India. A lot of the investments we've made, the 17 fulfillment centers that we've opened just this year, the 75 delivery stations, those are all really aimed at improving speeds in areas that have not had access to that speed. And so we do think that the way that infrastructure is evolving right now, we're going to see more and more of those investments take place in a way that really narrows the divide between urban and rural. And we expect customers are going to see increasingly similar experiences. And as that happens, I think the opportunities are really tremendous for both sellers and for new categories of businesses to emerge. The second area, which again you've heard some about, is really using AI and weaving it into the fabric of everything we're doing from an operations perspective and a broader business perspective. Whether that's building tools for sellers that make it easier for them to sell on Amazon, whether it is finding ways for consumers to be matched with the products that they're looking for, or almost every aspect of how we design and operate our logistics network, we're weaving AI in, and we're very optimistic about the opportunity that it holds for us.
Thank you, Udit. I'll touch upon AI in a moment. I wanted to talk about the speed paradigm that you called out. Samir spoke about us launching delivery in minutes, where we are launching 2 micro-fulfillment centers a day, and we are more than 300 by the end of the year. How do you see this space evolving in India and also globally?
Yeah, I think Russ touched on this. Yes, speed has been part of a mission we've had for a very long time. It's part of our flywheel, and I see Amazon now as really a very interesting extension of that. If you think about the continuum of speeds, we now have millions of products that are available for next or same-day delivery. We have 100,000 or more products that are available to get to your doorstep in a couple of hours. And you've got 10,000 or more products that are available to get to you in minutes. And so we've actually been very excited about this, and I think we've been looking at investing in it a lot for some time. In India, I think the opportunity really is strengthened by the fact that it's a behavior that consumers have, and they've had for a very long time. Getting something from your local store in a few minutes was always a behavior that sort of shaped how people shopped, and we are leaning into that very heavily. By the end of this year, we're going to have over 300 micro-fulfillment centers. These are really small, tech-enabled formats that hold about 10,000 products, from fresh and ambient groceries to personal care to core accessories, and will serve customers in between 0 and 10 minutes. This is live already in Bengaluru, parts of Mumbai and Delhi, and I think we're going to see that expand rapidly across the country. I'd also say that this is a great example of innovation that happens in India that actually sees its way around the world. We have a bit of a saying in the team, a lot of innovations that start in India really affect how consumers around the globe experience those innovations down the road. Amazon Now is one of many examples, but the success that we've seen with Amazon Now has spurred us to launch the same offering in the Middle East, in Mexico, and just in fact, in the last few weeks, we've started to roll it out in parts of the US. And so it's very exciting. It's something that we think is resonating with customers. We've been very encouraged by the early results that we've seen. Just to share some data, I think we've seen customers order 25% more items month over month using the service, and Prime members who are using the service are actually coming back to the store to shop with us 3 times more frequently than they were before they used the service. And so that just speaks to the level of engagement that we're seeing with an offering that's clearly resonating, and I do think that this is something that's inspiring us around the world.
No, thank you. It's inspiring and exciting. Can't wait to go faster in building out this network across the country. Coming to AI now, at Amazon, we've known that AI has been almost a part of our DNA for many, many years. But over the last couple of years, the advancements have been rapid and transformative in many ways. How do you see it shaping our work at Amazon, and what are our priorities when it comes to AI globally?
You know, I think Jeff recently in a presentation kind of talked about AI and sort of called today's version of generative AI kind of a horizontal technology, something that really cross-cuts industries, cross-cuts consumer and business experiences, and has the potential, and I think increasingly there's a belief that this potential is real, of affecting change in every industry and experience we have. And I think that's very apt, and sort of what we're seeing in the early days of leveraging AI within our work at Amazon. I'd sort of break up our focus in a few different buckets. First, we looked at it as a way to empower more and more small and mid-sized businesses. A lot of the focus we've had is on understanding how to use AI to reduce the friction and reduce the effort and even the knowledge that a small business needs to be successful in e-commerce. You will hear later on today about products that allow us to have a seller take one photograph of an item and have it listed on Amazon, the title, the description, all the details. And if you think about it, not only is that making it easier for somebody who is already listing to list their next product, but it's really equalizing the field of e-commerce for somebody who is not that tech savvy, doesn't really understand e-commerce, just knows how to build great products. And I think it's going to be a rapid accelerator of how many people can participate in e-commerce, and I think it will also accelerate the growth of many people who are there today. And so, that's sort of one example of areas where we're using it as a way to empower. The second is how we're thinking about using it for changing what consumers experience e-commerce as. Today's set of generative AI models are trained on large amounts of data. They, in fact, have memory. They can understand context. And we've seen that the combination of those things can really help us create new ways of consumers engaging with the store, finding and discovering products, buying things. Last year we launched Rufus, which is kind of our AI-powered shopping assistant. It's multilingual. It's trained both on web data as well as trained on all of the Amazon data. You can interact with it as somebody or something that knows you and knows you well. It can remember your habits, it can remember your preferences, and it can be used for things that I think when we originally designed it, we didn't really know was possible or was how consumers were going to use it. As an example, we have consumers today who will use Rufus to understand how to cook their next meal. You can go today to Rufus and ask it how to cook palak paneer, and it will give you not just the recipe, but also put the ingredients in your shopping cart. For somebody who doesn't cook very often, when he needs to cook, he needs a lot of help, it's a game changer. And I think that is just, again, another good example of how these kind of experiences that are coming out of AI are, again, reducing friction and enabling customers to experience shopping in a different way. And I think will, over time, bring more people to use e-commerce, as well as will help sellers and the business grow overall. And then the final area where we've been investing in AI is really around how to make our internal teams both more productive and more equipped for this age of AI. We have tools internally that we've developed that are helping teams get better at analytics, get more productive, develop software sort of in a faster way. as well as sort of creating upskilling programs so that everybody in the company, whether you work in a fulfillment center and customer service or one of the corporate offices, learn and get familiar with what these tools are capable of. And I will tell you that I consistently get surprised about the kind of innovations that come from so many parts of the company that you wouldn't expect. We have innovations coming from somebody who's in a fulfillment center that ends up being so compelling that we take it and roll it out globally. We have innovations that come from the corporate offices, and I think it's exciting not only because of what we're seeing today, but also because we're very early in that journey, and I expect there's a lot more to come.
Oh, thank you. The most fascinating part of that was not the AI, quite honestly, but you trying to make palak paneer.
You should not look at the kitchen after cooked food.
But thank you. As we conclude, I have to ask you this one last question. You spoke about the vantage point that your role affords you. Given that vantage point, what transformative trends do you see around the world, and what advice would you have for the entrepreneurs and builders that Samir called out at the beginning in the audience today, hundreds in the room and thousands more online listening to you? What would be your advice to them?
I'll start with just maybe sharing what I see happening in e-commerce and logistics and fulfillment and transportation. I think we're very much in this phase where physical supply chains are getting a lot more flexible and a lot more adaptive. Because technology is moving so quickly, because consumer habits are changing so fast as the technology moves, there's really a premium, if you will, to being able to adapt and be flexible with their supply chains. Alongside that, you're seeing supply chains get far more resilient and far more personal and local, hyper-local. And I think that trend is going to continue. I think Amazon now is a good example of where that really comes to life. Hyper-local in the Amazon Now context might mean that you have two stores that might be a kilometer away from it or half a kilometer away from each other, that have different selection because the customers that they serve are entirely different. And I think that trend is going to keep pushing the boundaries of what we've thought of as traditional supply chains and force us to both build the technology as well as the physical resilience to be that adaptable and that flexible. I also think, as I said earlier, that the infrastructure and the way that the infrastructure is getting built out is going to close this gap between metropolitan areas and urban and rural areas. And I think that trend, we're very much at the start of that. I think it's going to shape how demand organically grows as access, the kind of access that metropolitan areas have had traditionally, becomes available to people everywhere in the country. And then the second is, I think, or the third rather, is that I think there is, in this age of AI, where customers are increasingly using technology that's more personal, they're more depending on it for judgment or to make decisions or to create or invent. I think there's going to be a premium on trust. And I think companies that can offer both a personalized experience, but one that comes with the right privacy, the right controls, the right reliability, and not only help offer that, but also are trustworthy enough to correct things when they go wrong, are going to do incredibly well. And I think that trend in sort of consumers leaning in on trust as one of the deciding factors is also going to be something that we're going to continue to see. As far as advice goes, I have maybe three pieces of advice as I reflect on my career at Amazon over the last 17 years. The first, and it's one that you'll hear from most Amazonians, is to always keep the customer at the center of your decisions. Understanding what your customer needs, what their pain points are, is going to help you build far more durable solutions, products, experiences than if you don't. You will be able to find quick wins if you don't take that approach, but the best way to build long-term durable businesses, successful businesses, is to keep the customer at the center. The second is that you should always think about embracing failures and never run from them. especially in an environment right now where technology is forcing so much innovation. There is a lot of value in experimenting, and with experimentation is going to come moments where you're not going to get something right. Embracing it, learning from it, using it as a way to iterate is something that right now is exceptionally important, and I think entrepreneurs who embrace that are going to be far more successful than the ones who are either turned off or don't value that sort of learning from failure. And the last one, and this is one that is one that I have always tried to build my career around, is to always stay curious and always be learning. You can just see what's happening with AI today. If you are not somebody who's curious, if you're not somebody who learns, I think it becomes very hard to keep up with the pace that technology is moving, and you miss a lot of the opportunities that you otherwise can go grab in how you think about your next product or your next business. And so I think always being curious, always being learning is something that I'd very much encourage this room of entrepreneurs and builders to do.
No, thank you. I think staying curious, staying close to the customer, truly who we are and what we talk about every day at Amazon.
Unsurprisingly.
And thank you so much. It was a fascinating conversation as always. Thank you so much for your time, and thank you for being at Amazon Smbhav.
Yep. Thank you very much. And again, it's very inspiring to see this room full of builders and what you guys have built together. Thank you, and keep it going.
All right, everyone, it's been already a really interesting morning. We've got some nice big headlines from Amit a little earlier, talking about that $35 billion investment, the $80 billion in exports, those 3.8 million jobs. But also, it's been really fascinating to see how global e-commerce, the entire landscape is being reshaped and changed in real time. And also the comments that we did hear from Russell about how India stands poised to play a defining role in that transformation. So from the new seller assistant to next gen, seller central, innovation is transforming how India sells online, and that's potentially going to go global as well. Let's just take a look at some of the changes.
मुश्किलों से लड़ने का जिनमें है जज्बा, अब हाथों में उनके औजार है गजब का। अब सोच के कहीं भी कोई दायरे न होंगे, काबिलियत को डिजिटल पंख अब मिलेंगे। ये देश आत्मनिर्भर अब और हो रहा है, सीनों में हौसलों के ये बीज बो रहा है। रफ्तार है गजब की है खूबियां भी सारी, अब विकसित इंडिया बनने की है तैयारी।
Now understand this in more detail. To share his vision, do put your hands together for Dharmesh Mehta, VP Worldwide Selling Partner Services, Amazon. Dharmesh.
Namaste, and good morning, everyone. This is actually my first Smbhav being here in person, and it is truly special to be here with all of you. I am so excited to be surrounded by the energy, the creativity, and the ambition that define this community of entrepreneurs. Today is about celebrating your milestones, hearing your stories, and sharing innovations that have been built directly from your feedback. Now, this year, Amazon celebrated 25 years of partnering with independent sellers, and 12 years since we launched in India. And 25 years ago, when we first welcomed independent sellers to sell in our store, we were pioneering a new retail model, one that would benefit both customers and entrepreneurs. And since then, millions of sellers have partnered with Amazon to build and scale your businesses, generating over $2.5 trillion in sales globally. And even more impressive than those numbers are what's behind them. It's millions of dreams, It's families and communities that have been uplifted. And that is the magic of our partnership together. I've had the privilege of being part of this journey between sellers and Amazon, partnering with all of you, and it has been so rewarding. Even yesterday, when I met with some of your fellow entrepreneurs here in Delhi, one seller shared something truly remarkable. She told me that when she first started selling in Amazon store 2.5 years ago, she would be super excited when they even got 1 unit sold per day. And now, their company has grown to over 300 times their initial size. It's awesome. Moments like these remind us why we do what we do, because each of you brings a unique story, a great set of products, and an unwavering commitment to delighting customers. And stories like that show what's possible when great products meet the right technology and support. And so what excites me today is the transformation that's happening right here in India. And when we started in 2013, there were just 100 sellers. And over the course of the past 12 years, over 1.7 million sellers in India have sold in the Amazon India store. And more than 60% of those sellers come from Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities. It's fantastic. And many of these sellers are now exporters. They're thriving. And over 2 lakh exporters have surpassed over $20 billion in cumulative exports. And as you heard earlier, we're now aiming for $80 billion in cumulative exports by 2030. But beyond these numbers are human stories. It's the textile weaver from Ahmedabad who's scaling internationally, or the family business from Jaipur who's expanding into Europe, or a young entrepreneur in Mumbai who's using Amazon to launch her brand. This is a testament of the spirit and the drive of Indian entrepreneurs, and we're glad that we've been able to support you in your growth story. Through our Entrepreneurship for Enablement program, we're helping 30,000 women and youth across 3 different states build strong entrepreneurial and financial skills. And with AWS, we're giving businesses across India the tools to run smarter by cutting costs, speeding up your innovation, and scaling as we support India's journey toward a $1 trillion digital economy. But we're still just getting started. And our commitment to you is simple: bring the best of Amazon's global innovation to India, shaped for Indian entrepreneurs, built around your needs, and powered by your feedback. So together, with sellers like you, we're writing the story of the most successful partnership in the history of the retail industry. Now, running a commerce business can be complex, and so our mission is to help simplify it so you can focus on building innovative products and delighting customers. And for over 25 years, Amazon has pioneered technology to improve shopping and selling experiences. And with the evolution of generative AI, we've been moving even faster to innovate for all of you, our selling partners. Now, our AI journey actually started many decades ago, and we've been using AI and machine learning to deliver tools and insights and support for sellers all along. But now, generative AI makes so much more possible. And India is a key part of this vision. The country's scale, the digital infrastructure, and the talent that's here all make it a natural hub for innovation. And we're excited about how generative AI can accelerate growth for both customers and small businesses across India. And in the past year alone, we've launched countless impactful AI-powered tools that are making selling faster and more cost-effective, from creating stunning A+ content and ad campaign videos, to instantly generating high-quality listings that are more effective for customers. We're excited that this is saving you tons of time, and we're hearing that you're loving that as well. But we're not stopping there. I'm excited to share that we're taking this AI journey to an entirely new level with agentic AI capabilities that will transform how sellers manage their businesses. We're providing a transformative experience for our selling partners with the new Seller Assistant, which is powered with agentic AI capabilities. It's a game-changing advancement that leverages the power of AI to not just respond to sellers' questions, but to reason, to plan, and to act on behalf of a seller. And Seller Assistant is deeply knowledgeable and personalized to each seller, to your products, and it functions as a business partner that understands your unique business context and proposes strategic recommendations. And with your permission, it will even take actions to help you achieve your business goals. Yesterday, I was talking to some sellers here in Delhi that are using Seller Assistant, and they were asking it to check compliance of their listings or to rewrite some of their product titles. And they were smiling because it was so fast, so intuitive, and comes at no additional cost. And this is going to represent a significant shift in how sellers will sell in Amazon store. And you're going to hear more about this from Mary Beth in her upcoming session. So as we simplify your day-to-day work, we remain committed to making Amazon a great value for your business. And we've built a whole set of innovations that are focused on saving you time and money. By streamlining your operations, simplifying your daily tasks, and giving you faster and faster insights to grow. And this is so important because every entrepreneur would love to have more of two things: a little more time and a little more money. Now, I also want to announce how we're reimagining the entire selling experience with the launch of the next generation Seller Central. It's faster, it's simpler, and it's fully AI powered. It's going to bring you personalized dashboards, intelligent insights, and built-in assistance. We're finding that sellers are able to complete tasks up to 80% faster. And it isn't just a new interface. It's a smarter, more intuitive way to run your business, seamlessly and efficiently. When technology empowers you to move faster and dream bigger, the possibilities are limitless. And India's entrepreneurs are creating products that the whole world wants. Through Amazon Global Selling, more than 2 lakh Indian sellers are now reaching customers in over 200 countries and territories, from bed sheets from Chennai to organic teas from Assam. And our commitment that had been to reach 20 billion in exports by 2025, I'm excited that we've already achieved that milestone and that we're setting goals that are even more aspirational as we reach 80 billion in exports by 2030. And what's powering this journey is technology that's simplifying how you reach customers across borders. With AI-powered tools like Marketplace Product Guidance and Product Opportunity Explorer, you'll be able to understand global demand and design products that meet international standards, to automate compliance across borders, and so much more. And our global logistics solutions are going to provide sellers a single Amazon-managed shipping solution with easy booking, integrated payments, and trusted carriers that lets you connect with millions of customers in over 100 countries, all with just a few clicks. And every product we ship carries the story of Indian skill, sustainability, and craft. And that's the kind of impact we want every seller to feel. And that's how technology is helping your businesses take your creativity to the world, and how we're turning Made in India into Sell to the World. So as we look ahead, I'm more optimistic than ever. With AI and inclusive digitization, we will unlock growth for every entrepreneur, whether you're just getting started or you're scaling globally. And we'll keep listening, keep innovating and keep supporting you so you can keep innovating and keep thriving. Together, we will empower India's next million entrepreneurs to dream bigger, reach further, and shape the future of commerce. And to every seller who's been part of this journey, thank you. Your innovation and partnership have been critical, and you continue to inspire what we build next. And there's so much to be proud of in what we have already created together. But as we like to say, it's still day one, and there's still so much opportunity ahead. And I look forward to continuing to build the future of retail together. Dhanyavad.
Thank you, Dharmesh. Couldn't agree more. The future of retail and the optimism of the opportunity ahead, really exciting. Today marks a significant milestone for us at Amazon in our journey in India. A partnership that bridges innovation, education, and the future of logistics and transportation. I am honored to announce the signing of a memorandum of understanding between Amazon and the Gati Shakti Vishwavidyalaya, which is the premier institute dedicated to transportation, logistics, and allied sectors in India. This collaboration will include an Amazon-funded endowment chair at the GSV and a joint research initiative that will benefit students, researchers, and the broader logistics ecosystem. Amazon is proud to be one of the largest users of Indian Railways. We were the first e-commerce company to partner with them to carry parcels across the country. Starting from that first train, we now ride 120 trains across the length and breadth of the country. We were also the first e-commerce company to partner extensively with India Post. And 13 years later, we are still one of their strongest partners, and they help us deliver to every single postcode of India. As we move ahead and we look at the future, the MOU today is not just creating a partnership. We are investing in India's future. I really want to thank the leadership of the Gati Shakti Vishwavidyalaya and the teams at Amazon, including the public policy team who worked on this and bringing us together in this partnership. I now invite Dr. Manoj Chaudhary, who is the Vice Chancellor of the Gati Shakti Vishwavidyalaya, to join me on stage to sign the MOU. And I'd also like to invite Samir, Udit, and Chetan to join us for this historic event. Thank you.
We will now commence the formal exchange of the Memorandum of Understanding between the two organizations. Requesting the dignitaries to take their seats. And may I now request Dr. Manoj Chaudhary, Vice Chancellor, Gati Shakti Vishwavidyalaya, to address the gathering.
Good morning. Firstly, my congratulations to the entire Amazon family and all of you here for an excellent Amazon Smbhav 2025. We are thrilled to have this partnership between Amazon and Gati Shakti Vishwavidyalaya today. In India's journey to become a developed country, Viksit Bharat by 2047, the transportation infrastructure and logistics plays a very, very key and fundamental role. It is in this context that Parliament of India, through an act, created our university, Gati Shakti Vishwavidyalaya. This is India's only university in the entire transportation and logistics sector. Therefore, we work across railways, aviation, maritime, shipping, basically highways. Anything that moves people, goods or services is the role of Gati Shakti Vishwavidyalaya. And therefore, today's partnership between Amazon and Gati Shakti Vishwavidyalaya is so fundamental for advancing the logistics-related education and research in India. Through today's partnership, Gati Shakti Vishwavidyalaya, while working with the e-commerce and logistics leader that Amazon is, through an Amazon-sponsored chair professorship, will advance the logistics education in India. We shall perform together the research, joint research into the warehousing sector, the use of technology. In particular, our university advances role of AI and deployment of AI across all of the transportation and logistics sector. And we have this joint mission for technology-enabled acceleration for India's logistics sector and for the globe. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Manoj Chaudhary.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's start shifting the focus now towards AI, which of course is one of the major themes that we've been talking about for a while, and it's now really starting to become the major headline out here. Up next, a forward-looking conversation on how AI is powering India's next wave of growth, democratizing technology for SMBs, shaping supply chains, and also solving challenges at scale. I want to drag everyone's attention to the two letters that are at the heart of Viksit India's Tayyari or preparation, AI. It's there in the logo itself. And that really gives all entrepreneurs the confidence to say, yes, Smbhav hai. Let's take a look.
इस देश की उड़ान में AI अब है साथी बन सकेगा इस देश की उड़ान में AI अब है साथी बन सकेगा अब नई मिसाल ये दुनिया की सब मेहनती हाथों में ये थमा सकेगा राह हर गांव हर शहर को मिल सकेगी नई ताकत ये देश आत्मनिर्भर अब और हो रहा है सीनों में हौसलों के ये बीज बो रहा है रफ्तार है गजब की है खूबियां भी सारी अब विकसित इंडिया बनने की है तैयारी
Building smarter systems, faster decision making, and more opportunities for Indian businesses. Please do welcome Abhijit Kamra, Director, Emerging Markets, Seller Experience, and Smart Commerce at Amazon.
Welcome, everyone, to what I promise is going to be a very enlightening discussion on how artificial intelligence is going to power India's growth story. We're in the middle of this transformation where we have this incredible technology, which is not only transforming technology itself, but the very fabric of our digital economy. And I have two experts from Amazon today who are at the forefront of driving this change. Please welcome Rajiv Rastogi and Vivek Jain. Rajiv is our foremost expert in everything machine learning, whether it's seller experience, customer experience, or fraud. Welcome, Rajiv. Next, I have Vivek Jain. Vivek works on driving innovation in our global supply chain systems. He has expertise in using automation, machine learning in powering our supply chain? Vivek. So I'm going to get started by a question for both of you. Big picture perspective, how do you see AI reshaping India's digital economy over the next 5 years? Rajiv, I want to start with you, and then I'll come to Vivek.
Sure. Thank you, Abhijit. Now, I genuinely believe that India is on the cusp of an AI-led economic shift that's unlike anything that we've seen before. Now, India is now the second largest user base for Claude, OpenAI, which just shows to you that how fast it's been in terms of adoption of AI here in India. And at the same time, the government is backing Sarvam AI, which is a startup, to build the country's first homegrown, sovereign, large language model. That's really a great signal of the leap we are looking at in terms of driving innovation here in India. And we have already begun to see that AI is being leveraged to tackle a number of real-world challenges in diverse areas, right, from agriculture and healthcare and payments and logistics, whether it is to predict the optimal quantity of water, fertilizers, and pesticides to use based on soil health and moisture, or if you're looking to analyze medical images like X-rays and CT scans to detect tuberculosis, cancer, and so on, or to detect account takeover fraud. And also, something that we do a lot in logistics is forecasting demand at a very fine grain of a product in a micro FC for the next day based on historical sales data for inventory planning and quick commerce. And quick commerce has been mentioned a lot by the earlier speakers. You will see that AI is going to be the invisible engine that is powering a lot of these different applications. Now at Amazon, we are embedding AI across everything that we do, helping customers and sellers make smarter decisions. For customers, our Rufus AI conversational shopping assistant is reducing the effort to discover, compare, and understand products. It is literally, breaking barriers of language, literacy, digital maturity, and familiarity for shoppers across the entire range, right from metros to small towns and rural districts. And on the seller side as well, AI is removing barriers and enabling every entrepreneur to essentially operate with a scaled enterprise intelligence. I think the seller assistant has been mentioned a lot, and it is our conversational AI that is answering seller questions on compliance, account suspension issues, and also providing expert advice to sellers on how they can grow their business on Amazon. So, overall, the economic potential is huge. In fact, Niti Aayog estimates that AI could add $500 to $600 billion to India's GDP by 2035. And this is not just based on efficiency gains, but it's really involves creating entirely new industries as well.
Thank you. Thank you. Vivek, same question, your perspective.
Yes, let me start with something very personal to me. Growing up in India, I spent a lot of time around my uncles and cousins who ran kirana shops and small businesses. And there was one thing they all had in common. Their front shirt pockets were always stuffed with tiny slips of papers. These papers tracked everything like daily sales, credit, inventory, supplier orders, customer requests. That pocket, believe it or not, was their ERP system. Their business ran on instinct, memory, and a few handwritten notes. Now, fast forward to today, what AI is doing is giving that same small business owner a digital brain. Not just a digital record, it's taking everything that lived in that shirt pocket, all the chaos, the intuition, and turning it into prediction, insight, and foresight. That shift from intuition to intelligence is what will reshape India's digital economy in my perspective. Taking a little bit of another different approach to look at this problem, over the last decade, India built extraordinary digital rails. UPI, Aadhaar, affordable data, millions of sellers coming online. The next 5 years will build our digital intelligence layer. Capabilities that exclusively were there for large companies, forecasting, pricing science, analytics, demand sensing, inventory optimization, will be in the hands of every entrepreneur out here. And we are already seeing it. Sellers in Jaipur are planning seasonal inventory with AI. A textile manufacturer in Tirupur is predicting color and size trends with much higher accuracy. A home decor business expanding globally using AI powering catalog and pricing analytics. We are moving from being the world's largest digital economy in terms of the users to becoming one of the most intelligent economies in the world.
No, thank you. I think it's interesting, like the number of dimensions that you guys covered, everything from agriculture, access, supply chain. Let me take the opportunity to go a little deeper. India is going through this large transportation, large infrastructure overhaul, where we are connecting every part of the country. If I were to get deeper into, let's say, inventory management, supply chain, in the context of India, Vivek, how do you see AI transforming things?
Yeah, in India, demand patterns shift really fast. Festivals, climate changes, climate zones, regional preferences, influences trends. Relying on the gut feel alone often means overstock or out of stock. AI is changing that fundamentally. At Amazon, we have spent years applying AI to forecasting and planning, and we have seen incredible improvements. Now we are making that same intelligence available to our sellers. Our one apparel business in Tirupur applied a basic forecasting model and reduced overproduction drastically. That converted into real cost savings and allowed them to reinvent faster into new designs and categories. For Amazon, Amazon has used AI and ML to understand demand patterns, and they've kept products in stock for faster delivery. Udit talked about it earlier today. That's what we've been investing for years. With Gen AI, we can sense demand at an incredibly granular level, by city, by region, every time of the day. On the operation side, take something as simple but crucial as inventory approvals. Earlier, sellers waited 2 to 3 days just to know if the fulfillment center would accept their shipment. That means 72 hours of uncertainty. Today, that decision is instantaneous. AI checks capacity in real time and recommends the best fulfillment center. It is like having a smart business partner built into the system.
Thank you. That's good perspective. You also segue into something that I was interested into getting next with Rajiv. Right from the morning as sellers started interacting with us, and like outside of Smbhav too, our sellers are always very curious, very good at learning new things. So they've been dabbling with AI. They've been very curious about AI. Rajiv, can I get you to talk a little bit more about like how are things, like what are things that we are doing which will really help our sellers directly?
Yeah, I mean, a number of tools have been mentioned earlier by Dharmesh and Udit and Russ, previous speakers. But let me just step back and say, you know, across Amazon for over 25 years, we've been developing state-of-the-art and deploying state-of-the-art machine learning and AI models to power not just customer-facing experiences, but also our internal operations. From product recommendation engines that personalize the shopping journey for customers on Amazon.com to AI-powered tools like demand forecasting that optimize order fulfillment in our warehouses. And we are building a bunch of Gen AI tools to help sellers grow their business and troubleshoot issues. Let me talk about a few specific tools. At the center, of course, is Seller Assistant. Seller Assistant is Amazon's conversational AI partner that uses large language models integrated with Amazon systems to enable natural conversations. Also, I understand the unique context of each seller and provide personalized guidance, right from account health to inventory decisions. So let's take an example of a seller needing help with account health. The assistant would analyze their performance, surface or prioritize issue list based on revenue impact and urgency, and then guide them through the resolution steps. And there are a number of additional tools that we are building for seller using AI. For example, Gen AI for listings that automatically creates a complete polished product listing with titles, descriptions, bullet points, and compliant images. And this reduces the seller effort by 70%. A first-time seller can upload basic product info, a few descriptive keywords, and instantly receive a ready-to-publish professional listing. Creative Studio helps sellers conceptualize and create ads across formats. You can turn a product image or a product shot into a video, and also convert TV commercials into sponsored ads. There's a video generator that democratizes video advertising, enabling businesses to create high-quality video ads, and this is done in minutes at no additional cost. And a tool that actually my team developed was Adaptive Campaigns, and it dramatically simplifies ad campaign creation and optimization. Sellers only need to select the ASINs, budget, and an operating point on a slider that essentially decides the trade-off between potential sales and cost. And then you have the system that automatically sets bid values for keywords to achieve the advertiser-specified revenue target. So together, all these AI capabilities are democratizing opportunity for MSMEs, sellers in Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities. They're creating a level playing field and enabling millions of businesses to grow faster and smarter.
No, thank you. Thank you very much for that perspective. Let me nuance the next question a little bit for you, Vivek. Building on the same theme of how our tools are being made available and what tools are being made available for our seller community, let me ask you, what's the early impact of those tools? What are we seeing in our sellers?
Yeah, the impact is real. Today, more than 100,000 sellers actively use our AI tools, and 94% of them report improved business outcomes. So fundamentally, we are seeing three major shifts. One, productivity gains. AI-powered smart listings has reduced listing time from days to hours. The number two is better decisions. In terms of better decisions, sellers using demand and pricing insights are making more confident choices on what to launch, when to launch, and where to launch. One small seller, for as an example, was alerted to rising demand for a type of wireless headphones in Tier 2 cities. Long before their data even showed it, the AI not only highlighted the demand, it recommended optimal price using competitor signals and historical patterns. The third shift that I'm seeing is business expansion. We are seeing sellers expand categories and geographies faster because they can understand unmet customer demand. Another example, One Jaipur seller expanded internationally using our AI listing tools. They translated and optimized their catalog for global market in minutes, and today they ship to multiple countries. So overall, impact is quite real.
No, I think you're absolutely right. It's real, it's large, and as we interact more with our sellers today, I'm personally looking forward to really learning and seeing how they're using all of our tools. I'm going to move to my last question. And for this one, I'm going to pan out again. Rajiv, and this is for you. How do you think India needs to take the next decade to become the leader in this domain?
Yeah, I would like to outline, 4 priorities for India to become a global AI leader. The first priority is impact-driven AI. And by that, I mean that India must build solutions for its own needs. AI that improves farming decisions, personalizes learning in classrooms, strengthens healthcare diagnostics, and makes logistics more efficient for hundreds of thousands of villages. True AI leadership really comes from solving problems that affect millions of lives every single day. Second, India needs to invest in the infrastructure that enables innovation. Right? This includes high-quality, open data sets across languages, healthcare, and agriculture, affordable compute access for startups and researchers, and also shared platforms that allow industry, academia, and governments to work together seamlessly. Third, we must build the next generation of AI talent. And by this, I don't mean just a lot more engineers, but practitioners who are capable of combining both technical depth with an understanding of India's on-ground realities. And with the right training and real-world exposure through large-scale skilling initiatives like Amazon's AI Ready program, India can become the global hub for applied AI talent. And finally, collaboration is essential. Breakthroughs happen when public institutions, private companies, and universities all align around national missions like digital inclusion, healthcare, education, agriculture, and so on. And, India's diversity and scale are some of its greatest assets, its greatest strengths, and using them well can help the country shape the global AI landscape. Yeah.
Thank you so much. I think that's a great point to end this conversation at. Truly agree with you. And as we bring our incredible entrepreneurs into the mix of collaborating together, really to help transform India into a Viksit Bharat, I think, I believe that India is going to really be one of the leaders in this domain. So thank you so much for the discussion today. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, we now move to the next session focused on accelerating exports through e-commerce. Please welcome Amazon Vice President for Public Policy, Mr. Chetan Krishnaswamy, for this session.
Good morning, everyone. And it's always great to be part of this energy. As you heard from a lot of folks this morning, Amazon Global Selling has enabled over 20 billion in cumulative exports from India since 2015. helping over 200,000 Indian exporters coming from over 200 cities. Over 750 million or 75 crores made in India items, from apparel and beauty items to innovative tech products, have reached global customers in the last 10 years. As we have announced earlier today, Amazon is committed to enabling 80 billion in cumulative exports by 2030 through our technology, tools, global infrastructure, and of course, our partnerships. It's heartening to see the government of India focus on enabling e-commerce exports through progressive policies that simplify export compliance, logistics, and payments. For the first time ever, we saw a dedicated chapter on e-commerce exports in the foreign trade policy and the recognition of the unique requirements of e-commerce exporters in this year's economic survey report. The recent announcements to simplify cross-border payments will especially benefit MSME exporters who are present here in large numbers. In addition to these policies, we see the government's intent to bring innovative models to enable MSME exports. The new e-commerce export hub scheme and the proposal to allow e-commerce entities to hold inventory specifically for exports are examples of the government's vision. And we hear that there's going to be some good news on this front in the next couple of weeks. To realize Amazon's ambitions of enabling 80 billion in exports by 2030, we are also actively collaborating with government departments and key stakeholders who matter and who have the power to influence the policy. For example, we've been working closely with the Directorate General of Foreign Trade, Ministry of Commerce and Industry, whose representative is present with us today. And Amazon has also an active MOU with the DGFT on enabling exporters from over 70 carefully chosen districts across India. Recently, we formalized a partnership with the Federation of Indian Export Organizations to enhance trade promotion. Today, I'm delighted to announce our MOU with the Apparel Export Promotion Council, the apex body of apparel exporters in India. We also have long-standing partnerships with India Post, with the India SME Forum, and the Retailers Association of India, all with the aim of enabling and empowering exporters from this country. The future of Indian exports, ladies and gentlemen, is bright, and together with our partners, we are making the world accessible for lakhs of Indian businesses, one exporter at a time. Please join me in welcoming our key partners present here today. Thank you.
We request the head of Amazon Global Selling India, Mr. Srinidhi Kalvapudi, to join us on stage to felicitate our partners.
Hello.
We invite Mr. Moin Nafak, Joint Director General, DGFT, on stage. We now invite Dr. Ajay Sahai, Director General and CEO, Federation of Indian Export Organizations, on stage. We welcome Mr. Mithileshwar Thakur, Secretary General of Amazon's newest strategic partner, Apparel Export Promotion Council, on stage. We also invite our partners from seller associations. Mr. Kumar Raj Gopalan, CEO, Retailers Association of India, and Mr. Vinod Kumar, President, Indian SME Forum, to join us on stage. We request Russell Grandinetti, Amit Agrawal, and Sameer Kumar to join us on stage for a photo to mark this special moment with our export partners. Thank you to all our partners for joining us at Smbhav 2025. As we continue on this journey of AI, redefining the growth of sellers, artisans, farmers and customers in India, let's take a look at the theme of this year's Smbhav.
हमारे देश के लोगों में जज्बा बेमिसाल है और अब इस जज्बे को एआई का साथ मिल रहा है। अब हम वो ताकत बनने को तैयार हैं जो सिर्फ आसमान छुएगी नहीं, उसे भेद देगी। हम नई मिसालें बनाने को तैयार हो रहे हैं। हम विकसित इंडिया के लिए तैयार हो रहे हैं।
टेक्नोलॉजी के दम पे, एआई की रिदम पे उड़ान भर रहा है ये देश हर कदम पे। रफ्तार है गजब की और खूबियां है सारी, अब विकसित इंडिया बनने की है तैयारी।
कारीगरों का हाथ बटाने टेक्नोलॉजी की बाहें होंगी। किसानों को नए नुस्खे, नए तरीके मिलेंगे। अमेज़न का सपना है कि किसानों को मेहनत का दुगना फल मिले और देश का हर हुनरमंद सशक्त बने।
कोई भी हो जरूरत, कैसी भी जानकारी, सब हो सकेंगे चुटकियों में काम भारी भारी। अब वक्त और मेहनत दोनों बचा सकेंगे, एआई और सपने अब साथ में चलेंगे।
हमारी नई पीढ़ी के एंटरप्रेन्योर्स बड़े सपने देखते हैं और इन सपनों को पूरा करने में इनका साथी बना है अमेज़न। बेहतर जानकारी, बेहतर सुझाव और बेहतरीन प्लानिंग अब मुमकिन है। अब एआई इनसे कदम मिलाकर चल रहा है।
मुश्किलों से लड़ने का जिनमें है जज्बा, अब हाथों में उनके औजार है गजब का। सुझाव चाहिए हो या प्लान हो बनाना, एक प्रॉम्प्ट दे सकेगा आइडियाज का खजाना। पेचीदगी हो कितनी सब में मदद करेगा, एआई इस सफर में अब हम सफर बनेगा।
इस नई पहल का उद्देश्य है कि ये हमें ऐसी दिशा में ले जाए जहां हम टेक्नोलॉजी में किसी से भी पीछे ना रहें, जहां प्रगति और सशक्ति एक साथ चले और एक सशक्त विकसित राष्ट्र का निर्माण हो।
ये देश आत्मनिर्भर अब और हो रहा है, सीनों में हौसलों के ये बीज बो रहा है। रफ्तार है गजब की है खूबियां भी सारी, अब विकसित इंडिया बनने की है तैयारी।
अमेज़न संभव अब इंडिया के साथ है एआई की ताकत। अब विकसित इंडिया बनने की तैयारी शुरू हो चुकी है।
All right, everybody. Well, AI is clearly not something that is far out there in the distance. It's there in the apps that we're using, the products that we are discovering, the way that businesses are growing every single day. Now, up next, a segment many of you have been very keenly anticipating. A detailed deep dive into how Amazon is redefining the selling experience through the power of AI, from listings to ads to creative tools. Here's a glimpse of what the future really feels like.
जो ख्वाब देखता है हर घर में पहुंचने का, अब एक ही बटन से सच ख्वाब कर सकेगा। अब स्क्रीन पे ही मिल सकेंगे सैकड़ों जवाब।
हमारे देश के लोगों में जज्बा बेमिसाल है और अब इस जज्बे को एआई का साथ मिल रहा है। अब हम वो ताकत बनने को तैयार हैं जो सिर्फ आसमान छुएगी नहीं, उसे भेद देगी। हम नई मिसालें बनाने को तैयार हो रहे हैं। हम विकसित इंडिया के लिए तैयार हो रहे हैं।
All right, our next keynote showcases Amazon's latest AI and tech innovations. These are tools designed to simplify the selling experience to help millions of businesses to keep pace with the rapidly evolving e-commerce landscape. Please do welcome Mary Beth Westmoreland, the VP Worldwide Selling Partner Experience at Amazon. Mary Beth.
Namaste. It is so wonderful to be back here in India. Every time I come here, I feel the same spark, the same energy, the ambition, the sheer will to build. And every time, spark gets brighter. Over the past decade, I have watched sellers from Coimbatore to Guwahati, from Surat to Delhi, reshape what global commerce looks like. Small entrepreneurs, iconic brands, first-time digital sellers, all rewriting the rules of what's possible. Your passion, your innovation, your determination, this is what inspires us. And yes, we know that selling is hard work. Listing products, responding to customers, managing inventory. It takes time and it takes effort. And our goal is clear. We want to make selling on Amazon easy. We want to make it fast and we want to make it just more fun. And we do that now with the power of generative AI and agentic AI. We are excited to bring you tools and capabilities that don't just answer, but anticipate, recommend, and act. The foundations are live today, and you'll see many of these capabilities right here at Smbhav. Now, when you're looking to launch a new product, we want Amazon to be the place to do it. We have new tools and powerful resources that will make your launches more successful from day one. And we're going to help you increase sales across your catalog. So let's get started with that first step, creating products that customers love. We're giving you the inside track on what customers want with Product Opportunity Explorer. Now, Product Opportunity Explorer gives you real-time data on demand trends and customer activity to help you evaluate your new product ideas. And now, it's getting an AI-powered upgrade. We're taking billions of customer interactions across Amazon stores, from searches to purchases to reviews, and we're transforming them into personalized recommendations tailored to your unique business. And for each recommendation, you'll see where demand is trending, which features matter most, and the price point that customers expect to pay. But we won't stop there. We know that reviews carry a lot of weight. In fact, hundreds of millions of Amazon customers read reviews each month. And a strong base of reviews, it doesn't just build customer trust, it boosts discoverability of your product. And that's what Amazon's Vine program is all about. And I'm excited to announce that Amazon Vine program will be available to all sellers right here in India in early 2026. Great, right? It's exciting. The Vine program connects you with trusted shoppers who deliver high-quality, 100% objective reviews of your products. And you can enroll your products in Vine immediately after sending your inventory to FBA, even before your product listing goes live, so that you can start getting those customer reviews from day one. And products enrolled in Vine, they see an average of 30% lift in sales just months after enrollment, which is pretty great. So in e-commerce, what customers see is what sells. Your images, your titles, and those great descriptions of your products, they don't just look good, they build trust and they drive sales. But creating those high-quality listings, we know it can take time, it can take effort. We get it. So we've made it easier now than ever before with Gen AI. Now, you can just share a short description about your product with us, or just an image, or even a URL of your D2D site. And Amazon generates the title, the attributes, all powered by customer insights. So maybe you're managing hundreds of products. Just upload a spreadsheet, and our AI generates all of those listings. It makes recommendations to enhance your whole catalog, and the results speak for themselves. Over 1.3 million sellers have used our generative AI listing tools, and they accept those proposed enhancements 90% of the time with either no or very few edits. Want to make your existing listings more compelling to customers? Now you can with Enhance My Listing. It studies trends, analyzes what customers are searching for, and continuously surfaces recommendations to make your detail pages sharper and more relevant to customers. Okay, so this is another giant step forward. Your new conversational generative AI-powered assistant. It's an agentic, intelligent partner built for your business. Seller Assistant understands your store, understands your business goals, your context, and it works alongside you 24/7. It's a partner that constantly analyzes, reasons, and helps you manage your business and grow your business. With Seller Assistant, you can simply ask, which product should I consider stocking? Or how is my business performing? And you get instant, accurate insights right inside Seller Central. Now, we know it's important for you to maintain your account health. Not only will Seller Assistant tell you if there's a potential problem or a potential issue that needs to be addressed, it will help you take action to address it so you never lose a single sale. This is just the beginning. We're just getting started. Seller Assistant is evolving into a true business partner. A partner that doesn't just respond, but learns from your actions, understands your goals, and then proactively advises you and helps you take action. And we know that India runs on mobile. So Seller Assistant lives right inside your seller app. So you can get that help, those insights, and those alerts anytime, anywhere. And we're super excited that lots of sellers are already embracing our AI-powered Seller Assistant to help grow your business. Now, as Dharmesh mentioned earlier, we're completely reimagining our seller experience with next-gen Seller Central. It's modern, it's fast, and it's personalized, learning from your activity and helping you complete actions up to 80% faster. So this isn't just a new tool set. It's a new way of working. It's familiar, yet completely reimagined on the inside. Faster, brighter, smarter. And we're going to keep innovating to make selling easier, empowering you to focus on what matters most, which is growing your business. Now, we're also innovating in the ad space, using generative AI to power this new creative studio experience that helps you create stunning advertising. And now, to tell you more about it, please welcome Girish.
Namaskar and good afternoon, everyone. It's wonderful to be here with all of you. This room is full of people with ideas. And they say that ideas are chemical reactions in the brain. They're fast, they're always on. Now, turning them, persisting them, and making them reality is where all the effort is. And as builders, you understand what it takes. Once you cross the bridge of building the right product or products, two questions remain almost constantly. One, how do I tell customers about my product and persuade them to consider? Two, how do I reach lots and lots of them? And that's where advertising comes in. And that's where advertising technology comes in. You're competing for attention in a world full of screens. And you have 5 to 6 seconds to make an impact. So what's the right message? What do you tell to grab attention? We call them creatives. They could be banners, audios, videos, influencer-driven videos, etc. Doing these, it takes skill. You need to understand what to create. What is the right message? What is the video? What is the movement? It takes time. It's an iterative process. You can never create the right one the first time, so you keep iterating over it. And it costs money. You need to hire people. You need to get a professional director, maybe do shoots, and so forth. Now, technology allows us to change this. It changes from many different angles. It allows us to build things faster. And AI has transformed this because it just makes it so much easier. Last year, we talked about a couple of different initiatives that we had, and we called them with very simple names. We said image generator allows you to generate images. It allows you to create different variations. It allows you to create the ones that work best. And with that, we also had a video generator, which allows you to create video creatives. Both are free to use. You don't need any special domain expertise to use any of these. And what was once reserved for larger companies with larger budgets is now free and completely self-service. Today, I'm excited to share more about it. And just going back to what we showed, if you were here last year, you remember the speakers by the poolside. This was a video that we generated using our previous version of the video generator. Now, what I'm going to show you now is so much better. Professional quality images with real people sporting your product. Now, take a look. How's this done? Creative Studio. So this is your one-stop shop for both images and video creation, completely powered by AI. With this, you can create enhanced lifestyle images. Now, let's take an example. Let's say you're selling beautiful handcrafted ceramics. Sadly, your current ad is an image on a white background. Now, let's change this. You start with a prompt and click Generate. And you have high-quality, photorealistic images. You can remix them, restyle them, animate them, take a look at different options. What once required special tools, experts, multiple iterations, is done in seconds. These images are great. They're great for a quick peek. You have a second to react. Images are great. But videos are far more appealing. They can create emotions about your product and about the state of the customer's mind. Videos are harder to create, and they have been, but not anymore. Our video generator takes all the inputs from product detail pages and creates videos for you. It creates those videos, it stitches them together, and what used to be basic animations before are now multi-screen stories, all about your product. And this is all in one click. You can see them quickly, make a decision what to use. Whether it's delicious chocolates, sunscreens, shampoos, there's literally no limit to the number of creatives you can produce using the AI generator. Now, these are great. We have them. You can use them. But what if you had an in-house creative director sitting next to you 24/7, working while you're sleeping? Introducing what we call the creative agent. Now, the creative agent transforms video ad production. It's your creative director. It's powered by our insights on shopping, streaming. It understands your product. It understands your brand, the sensibilities, relevant customers, and it's interactive. You can keep prompting it. You can say, this is my customer. This is what I want to deliver. This is the message. And it starts engaging with you. It creates a plan. And just like this, you have a full production unit directed using natural language. Here's how it looks. Imagine you're launching a new lineup of running shoes. Just type your ideas, your objective, describe them the way you would say, natural language, and AI will take it from there. It works with you to refine your ideas. It asks questions. You can push back, you can tell more, and it transforms it into a storyboard, complete with scene-level scripts and respective visuals, and then into a multi-scene video. You can add music, put your voiceover, finishing touches, and create the complete video ad content. Here's how it looks. Behind the beautiful graffiti murals with the lady dancing, showing the shoes, this engages customers so much better than what you see in banners or simple animated videos. And this is completely generated. There is no video shoot, there is no post-editing. Now here's another example that we did for one of our brands in India, Frito. This is completely generated. There are no human actors involved, there are no video cameras involved, there's no editing involved. Take a look.
Each step is cushioned, stable, and light, bringing calm to your every move. Freedom. Ever wondered what it feels like to walk on clouds? Every day, your feet deserve that softness.
This is a very popular direct-to-consumer brand, and this was one of the innovations for them that make them move so much faster and test different variations. AI agents help us move so much faster. It lowers costs. It improves efficiency. More iterations at lower cost. Now, our goal is to offer you all possible ways to reach your customers. Right? We can generate videos without real people, but it's all about different ways. And advertising is all about that. Real people, influencers, can relate their emotions, their experiences, and bring real voices. This is a very popular format that you're all familiar with. And we have a new offering for you. Creators all over the country bring local voices, local traditions, cultures, lifestyles. Amazon Ads enables you to directly work with 125,000 influencers across the country who can work on different categories of products to bring real voices, real impact. Now, all of this, the videos, the images, the influencers, this was really to talk about the product and the right images. Now, having these images is one part of it, but we go back to our two questions, right? The message, what do I tell customers? And second is, how do I reach lots and lots and lots of them? Now let's talk about how to do that, right? When people are not shopping, when they're not spending time with family, what are they doing? They're streaming. They're watching video content. A number of minutes and hours a day are spent in this. Running ads on streaming TV is now available for all the brands without the need to commit larger budgets or invest in video content production. Earlier in the year, we launched what we call streaming TV ads on the Amazon MX player. Now, why is this relevant? 250 million viewers fully engaged watching premium content on Amazon video streaming services. Brands like Ugao, Uno Minda, Bajaj Almond Drops are all using streaming TV ads to reach their viewers, and the results so far have been great. It's self-service. You all can do this. We saw how to create the content. We have the reach, bring them together. And we're also expanding reach. See, this is all about reach on Amazon services, and off Amazon. So through Amazon ads, we're bringing all the OTT services in the country together so that you can run ads on Amazon and off of Amazon and reach customers while they're streaming their popular shows everywhere. So just to summarize all of this, like create the best videos, reach and connect with relevant shopping audiences, streaming audiences, and grow your business with Amazon ads. This is what we call full funnel advertising, from awareness, consideration, to purchases on Amazon. Thank you.
Right, that's really fantastic. You've learned a lot about how you can actually use AI and new techniques in our lives. Now, here's a session that I think is really aimed at all of you entrepreneurs out there. If you're really trying to come to grips of how are you, scaling up, what are you doing, you need to learn a lot. You need to figure out cutting out complexity, saving time, making success feel a lot more achievable. That's what simplified selling is all about. That's something which you may also want to bring into your own business. Now, AI is changing how small businesses build, how they operate, and how they scale. India, of course, stands at an inflection point. Now, today's panel brings together builders and enablers who are sitting at the intersection of all of these changes. It's a panel bringing leadership, scale, and entrepreneurial depth to the conversation. And all of you who are entrepreneurs, who want to be entrepreneurs, will really benefit from this. Please do welcome Sandeep Datta, President, India and South Asia of AWS, Sajid Pai, Partner, Bloom Ventures, Dr. Somdatta Singh, Founder and CEO of Cedus Global and Karma Holdings, and Pavitr Singh, Co-Founder and Co-CEO, Unify Apps. Right, it's great to be here with all of you. We're going to be discussing entrepreneurship and, of course, all that AI is doing with it. Now, Sandeep, as AWS, you, of course, work closely with businesses of all sizes and all shapes, digital-first brands, fast-scaling scale-ups, traditional SMEs, thinking about going global for the first time. What's the biggest shift that you're seeing in the way businesses are now thinking about AI today compared to, well, the last Smbhav a year ago?
So, interesting question. Look, about 12 to 18 months back, the exam question really was, what can I do with AI? It's now moving and it's come to a point where there's a clear recognition that AI, generative AI, is core and central to my DNA as an organization, and therefore I have to build capabilities and processes around that core DNA. It's effectively being able to reimagine the art of the possible. It is also a reality today that a large proportion of organizations still aren't putting workloads into production at scale. But the industry leaders, and when I say industry leaders, I'm talking about AI leaders, are the ones which have taken a business or an industry problem and have used AI to solve for it, and in the process they've ended up creating a source of competitive advantage for themselves vis-a-vis their peers. Now I'll give you two examples where AI is creating citizen level impact at scale. The first, I think we've all used it, DigiYatra. very simple use case of visual recognition, but one which has transformed the lives of, which has transformed close to about 45 million user journeys from the time that it was launched. The second, and this is something which is one of my favorites, the Ministry of Women and Child Development's Portion Tracker app. I don't know whether you've heard of it. Okay, it is helping in India's fight against undernutrition. Today, 1.4 million Anganwadi centers use this app to service 90 million beneficiaries, 80 million of whom are children under the age of 6. Now, when you want to use technology, you want to use data, this is the kind of impact that you'll probably want to go after. There's also a reality now that it's not about having access to the latest tools and technologies. It's about what your workforce in your organization does in terms of adapting, adopting, and imbibing these technologies and putting it to effective use in the organization. Which brings us to a very important point, which is skilling and training.
Yeah.
And today, as Amazon and AWS, we stay committed to helping in India's skilling journey. Since 2017, we've trained close to about 5.9 million individuals on cloud and related technology skills. So to summarize, I think tremendous opportunity ahead of us. A lot is being done, but then a lot more needs to be done.
So, let me just try and analyze that a little bit further. There are two types of companies and two types of entrepreneurs in this audience. One are the AI natives. They're viewing themselves as AI first companies, so that's a subset. Other companies, maybe in other businesses, doing other things, and are now trying to figure out how do I use AI to transform my own self, my own operations, use it as a tool in my business. Now, in your experience, when MSMEs start to benefit from AI, what changes first? Is it their way that they are operating, internal efficiencies? Is it how they are taking decisions? Is it how they are dealing with customers? What do you see changing first, typically?
I think, Vikram, any organization, MSMEs included, typically first go for the low-hanging fruits or the quick wins, right? And therefore, that's where you see chatbots getting deployed in customer support processes, or routine repetitive tasks like data entry seeing interventions from AI. The costs aren't too much, and the ROI is pretty attractive. But the real inflection point in my mind, I think, comes when organizations realize that in today's time, data is the new gold dust. Every customer interaction, every business transaction, every business KPI that moves has an underlying level of data waiting to be harnessed, right? Effectively, you're talking about in a world where customer interactions, processes, decision-making is working in an AI-powered loop, but fueled by high-quality data. And when that happens, whether it is a startup, whether it's a financial, a fintech, an MSME, I think it'll evolve to a point where customer experiences will become extremely hyper-personalized, and decision-making will move from being reactive to more predictive.
Good. More predictive. Sajid, let me turn to you. I'm sure there are some people, at least in the audience, who are watching this saying, these guys have been going on and on about AI for the last hour and a half. I was seeing it on Twitter yesterday that AI is a bubble. What on earth is this all about? So you, as Bloom, are somebody who's actually putting money into this. When you're reading all of this bubble talk, how are you reacting?
Yeah. So I think all technologies, transformative technologies, go through these phases, and it's well articulated and explained by economists and thinkers. It goes through this installation phase, as it's called, where there's a lot of money coming in. There's perhaps a brief period of a crash. The dot-com bubble saw that, and then it takes off again. Electricity, steam engine, and dot-com, internet, and today AI will all go through these phases. I'm very optimistic. Yes, there could be an occasional niggle or more than a niggle, but I'm very optimistic about the future of AI.
So you're continuing to invest in it and you're continuing to bet on it, right, at Bloom?
Oh yes, we're cautious. We won't invest in every single startup, but we do look at potentially transformative users, and we do back them.
Right. So when you're meeting founders every day, what patterns are you seeing among the founders who, in your view, are using AI well? What are they doing correct that others may want to learn from?
Yeah. So we could look at this in, I think, 3 levels, right? So the first level, individual usage, right? And individual usage is about feeding it context. The more context you feed it, you can get away with even lesser compute if the context is very good. So the good founders or decent founders stay at encouraging individual users to use AI better. Now the great founders use it themselves and encourage the entire organization to start using it. For example, in a company, you could say the marketing collateral gets made by one person. Now the entire company is using it. And then you question, oh, do I need a marketing agency? Am I paying them a large retainer? Do you need it? And you could rethink. But now when the entire company is using it, now everybody is putting out those creatives. You can't just send it out into the market. You need a larger compliance department. You need that. So here comes an exceptional founder who fundamentally changes the workflow. Yeah. So what they do is they actually create a software which analyzes all of these creatives, sets in place digital rights management, has a compliance inbuilt, and voila, you don't need an agency. Everyone in the company is shipping collateral. So great, exceptional founders transform workflows, and that's how AI is really harnessed.
So you're saying that if people who are doing it the most effectively are finding ways of changing the entire structure of how they are approaching their business?
Absolutely. They are fundamentally rethinking workflows. Without rethinking workflows, you can't harness AI fully.
Right. So I mean, like in your area, of course, growth, customer acquisition, operational discipline, all of these things matter. Where have you been able to use AI to give you the most tangible leverage?
Firstly, thank you for the question, Vikram, and a very good afternoon to everyone. I'm just going to ask the audience, can I see a show of hands how many D2C founders are here? Do you see that? That's like 50% of the audience, right? How many of you are selling on multiple marketplaces, quick commerce, and also doing cross-border? It's another 30-35% raise of hands. If you ask these guys, how many of you are running this profitably with free cash flow and having insights into how your users behave on Amazon versus Flipkart versus Meesho versus quick commerce versus cross-border? How many of you have that intelligence and you're tracking it profitably? That's 1%. That's exactly where Asidus comes in. So when brands work with us, and given that we are one of the biggest sellers on Amazon, Flipkart, and many others, and cross-border, we're in 20 countries. One of the biggest challenges today the brands have, Vikram, is not about great products. It's a divided customer mindset with lack of knowledge on inventory planning, accurate supply chain, and automation. How do I know that if I'm a Unilever, I have a plethora of products and we work with them, and you'll be surprised to know this, Vikram. L18, which is one of Unilever's brands, sells very well on Meesho because it caters to the tier 3, tier 4 audience, but Lakme sells very well on Amazon and Flipkart. The same Lakme products don't sell very well on Meesho. But what happens typically in today's founders' mindset, who have raised money or trying to build a profitable D2C brand, they're trying to be everywhere and they don't know where the efficiency comes in. That's where we use machine learning models. What are we predicting through machine learning? So we have our entire tech stack that integrates through API with all these channels, and we are able to derive data to analyze at which price point, which product is going to sell efficiently, so that overstocking issue, which you know today is a big challenge, because you have a stock, you'll have to liquidate it if it doesn't sell within a given period of time, because there is shelf life on these products. It's a big challenge. So, and for brands to know when they want to enter a new geography, which geography is actually going to work for them. Because you can't sell Shilajit and Ashwagandha like you sell in India in GCC without a MOH, which is a Ministry of Health license. And here you can sell it under a FSI license. These intelligence are also super critical, and there we use AI to predict which new policy, which new licensing model is actually allowing a brand to enter a market more productively. So if you see from a cross-border perspective, from pricing, inventory planning, supply chain automation, machine learning is where it plays a role. From content management, content optimization, and visual representatives is where AI plays a role. So we got to be careful of how we use AI and where we use AI.
So one part of that is using other products, using services, using APIs, working with others to get more intelligence. When it comes to companies' own workflow or processes, which ones do you think they should be modernizing or using AI for? Internally, in their company.
I use this tool, and Sandeep sir was talking, about the Amazon tool. So I have a tool which we have implemented company-wide. It's called AIDU. It's IDO. It automates your entire emails prioritization of a day. So as a CEO, when you're managing a company that is doing a GMV of 500 plus million, you need to know where your focus should be. Your focus is no longer just growth and customer retention. Your focus is profit per employee, employee optimization, better efficiency in the organization so you can deliver growth with economics of scale. So from prioritizing your day of how you look at your emails to how communication happens between your warehouse employees and your strategic decision makers, because they're on the field. They're the ones doing pick-pack handling. If they don't give us the intelligence back, how do we know what kind of redundancy we actually need to automate? So from prioritizing your daily emails to having internal communication with your employees very effectively so that culture is also scaling with technology is, I think, where AI will play a significant role.
Right. Pavitra, one of the issues that I do want to spend some time understanding from all of you is, there are many people who feel, but this is all great, these are all lovely ideas, I'd love to do this, but I have no idea how to do it in real life. How do I actually put all of this into practice? Now, you do build tools for that, and there are tools that are available. How do you get past the bottlenecks in actually being able to use AI?
No, thank you for that. I think there's a lot to do with education. Like, AI is not a magic solution to every problem, right? The way we need to see AI is like, these are like compute units, right? And as some of us mentioned here, you need to go and reimagine these workflows because you can't take it and translate as is what you are doing. You need to imagine like, what the future stage looks like. And I think a lot to do with, we always, when we talk to these leaders, they're talking about how do I reduce the headcount. It's not about reducing the headcount. It's about how to use AI to grow faster. If we look into our GDP, it's growing 8.5%. There's so much growth which can be unlocked by using AI in the right way. And a lot of enterprises today are doing a lot of employee productivity. So a lot of Indian enterprises are adopting co-pilots. We are seeing a ton of success in that. And then when it comes to, complex use cases, whether you can use it to produce new products, you need to use to plan marketing campaigns, you need to, uncover new markets for you. That's where I think people are struggling a bit. And I think they need hand-holding. That's where AWS helps them. That's where technology like us helps them into making it mainstream and really unlocking the growth.
So let's look at MSMEs or small companies or startups. They don't have a big engineering team. A lot of people don't have the people who have that full in-depth knowledge of being able to get all of this done. What's the simplest, easiest, and most practical way for them to actually start?
Yeah, no, I mean, you don't need big teams actually, specifically for MSMEs. There are so many vibe coding tools, right, which you can use, Lovable, Replit, Emergent, so many of those. So many of co-pilots are there, whether it's ChatGPT, whether Gemini, Microsoft, Amazon. You can just start using them today, right? And as we were discussing, you don't need any programming skill. These are plain instructions in English language. Give it any problem of yours actually, right? Give it sample Excel files, your data, ask it to make decisions. It will do wonderful things for you. A lot of things you talked about, standard co-pilots can do that if you ask them the right questions. just get your hands dirty, right? Open ChatGPT or Gemini or anybody. Let's start using it.
Right. Let me actually come to that, because this is one of the areas where there's been a major change. I'm thinking back to 7 years ago, 6 years ago, when I was setting up Heritage. I had a very clear vision in my head that this is how I want to use AI to transform news and information in the media business. I had the idea in my head. When I tried to say, okay, how do I now actually practically use AI to do this? It was a challenge. I mean, AWS at that time helped me with a lot of other problems. But to get, how do I do the AI? Eventually, they had people giving me big books and saying, here, learn machine learning, figure out how to do gradient descent. And I said, do I really need to do that? Now, times have changed, and it's changing every 6-7 months. And that, I think, is something you might want to share with the entrepreneurs out here.
Yeah, I think there are 2 or 3 things which I'd like to highlight. One, as was being told, AI, ML, 7 years back was a different beast altogether. Today, they are far more evolved. They are far more user-friendly. And trust me, English is the new coding language. Yeah. You just need to take it, which is why I said it's not about having access to the latest tools and technologies. You just need to take a tool, okay, and put it to effective use in your organization. For that, your people there needs to be a culture and a mindset change where the organization, the workforce is willing to adapt change, and that has to be driven top down. Gen AI, tech, it cannot be it has to be a C-suite agenda, right? And look at problems, business problems, small, big, whatever it may be, and try and solve for them, implement at scale, right? Or implement fast, fail faster, and learn even faster. I think if you keep that mantra, I think it'll be a journey which will be easy to traverse. To your point, the biggest and the largest of our customers, whether it's a Swiggy or a Zomato or any digital native born business, they don't, trust me, don't have very large engineering teams. It's just a mindset. That I'm talking about these kind of organizations having small teams solving big problems with 3, 4, 5 pods, member pods. That's it. And the other point which I raised, we have to ensure that we get our next generation job ready on day one. Because as these youngsters keep coming in, trust me, they will make the impact at pace, which probably, I dare say, you and I struggle to do,
Yeah, absolutely. We're not necessarily as AI native as some of the youngsters are. But to that point, Sajid, is there a certain leveling of the playing field that is then happening now with AI? As happened, AWS and cloud, one of the things that it did is, you could be a small company, but you have access to the same servers and the same, access to compute as any giant corporation did. So I do believe that cloud and AWS and other such things did level the playing field. Are we starting to see that with AI also? That you don't necessarily need to have high-powered, very expensive AI talent sitting in your company. If you have the mindset, you can access it.
You said it right. AI has genuinely created a level playing field. We are beginning to see that across. In IT, for example, some of the mid-tier companies are leveraging AI to compete very hard with the big 3, 4. Similarly, for MSMEs, since that's the audience here, you have the ability to bring in an AI co-pilot. You've always had challenges attracting extremely talented, highly paid people. Today, you can leverage AI and these AI employees, agents, to get on par with your deeper pocketed customers. You can use AI to create great marketing campaigns. You can use AI to ask questions like, what should I be worried about? Ask it questions on strategy. And I know founders who actually use AI, solo founders who use AI as a co-founder. They're continuously asking questions. Okay, they're not technically savvy. They're saying, I have a meeting with my product manager. what are the questions I should ask this product manager? And they're putting them on the back foot. So the most critical thing is feeding them context. The more better context you feed them, and you can use any tool, the more you can leverage it better.
Right. Level playing field, is that happening?
I love what Sanjeet said, but I'll bring it back to the founders that are building companies with limited resources. Because Vikram, like Sandeep sir said, the only thing I beg to differ is it's not just job ready. I think India has to move to a self-sustainable economy model, and that's what the Gen Zs and the Gen Alphas are looking at. There's a great creator economy. You have your creative intelligence and you have your artificial intelligence. How the two amalgamation can actually create more sustainable earning environment to make people more, diverse. So I'll give an example to you. When a founder of a D2C brand is starting a brand, it starts with R&D and research. You want to identify the market gap. Before, you would take months to get an agency, to employ people to do that. Today, an AI agent and an LLM model can actually do that for you. Products that work in India versus works in US versus works in GCC, what are the compliance, what ingredient list, etc., etc. How do you launch the product across retail and e-commerce channels? Should you do a digital first brand or should you do an omni-channel strategy? AI can solve that for you from a co-founder perspective. But ultimately, you need to identify the manufacturer. That's where the creative intelligence comes in. Work with the manufacturer and get an agreement in place. Gone are the days you need to hire a very expensive lawyer to draft an agreement. Now you can get an AI agent to do the agreement, but have a lawyer pay them a lesser fee to just oversee the draft and create and implement that in your organization. AI also, today you won't believe, Vikram, there are so many social media channels which actually zero real video content that is going on. It's all AI-led content, and it's fantastic channels. They're monetizing themselves. That can all be done by the founder, right? So now see, instead of having 5 people, having to pay for them, having to go raise money, convincing an investor, you now have a proof of concept. Now when you go to market with limited number of products, you're actually able to sell that online using automated image generation and visual representation. So what AI has done today is to make or simplify those critical redundant functions, bring more efficiency in your system so you can actually learn, automate, fail if need be, because that's first attempt in learning. None of us knew how to work from day one, right? We all have fallen many times before we took our first steps. But that fail to growth happens at a much faster pace than it happened 6 years back. So when I started Asidus 7 years back versus the scale we are at, a big chunk of that is automation of redundant function and the ability to make decisions quickly based on the derivatives. I think that is what technology does. Yesterday it was blockchain, today it's AI, tomorrow it must be CI. I don't care. Am I evolving, growing, and creating a better work practice, failing fast, growing faster? That's what that matters.
Right, really, really interesting. Well, as we get final thoughts from all of you and end the session, what are some of the pitfalls that you think people should be looking out for?
I think specifically, I think we underestimate the potential of that. Like, it's truly powerful technology, but how many of us here has spent time learning more details about the technology? Like specifically when I talk about D2C founders, like, how much time you are spending learning about AI, right? How much time you're spending about how other people are using AI in other markets, right? So if you just educate yourself, and then you'll be able to do wonders, actually.
Right. Any things that flash red to you if you see somebody saying, I'm doing AI and I'm doing ABC with it? You say that's not the right thing?
Nothing specifically comes to mind on Code Red, because my view is that it's a technology with which you can experiment, and every day, if you're an MSME founder, you should do one new thing with AI, right? And I feel like you should have a culture of experimentation. Every day, ek cheez up. It could be a marketing artifact, could be a query you ask, could be a legal opinion even. Okay, but don't fully trust it, validate it, but so that could be the code red. But every day, an MSME founder should ship one artifact using AI.
And any ethical guidelines or legal guardrails that we should be worrying about?
Yeah, I would say just be cautious on your material. One of the biggest challenges we are finding is people are using celebrity and images in a very loose way. There, I would say a little bit of caution is required because the law is a bit unclear on some of those aspects. So just be cautious on that and don't use material which you don't have copyright for.
Can I add that? I think that's a brilliant thing you said, because one is how we use content, how we implement content, but also the fact that, remember, the question that you are asking ChatGPT is also being asked by thousands of other people. Execution is what differentiates a great founder. It's not just the idea. So when you're executing, don't forget to ethically validate what you're building, because otherwise you'll have 10 people coming up with the same products and then you're again building competition that you didn't anticipate. So what Sajid said is, be passionate, but also be very prudent, because if you're not prudent, then you're going to get yourself into trouble.
Last thoughts from you, Sandeep.
No, I plus one to all of what has been said. I would only, close by saying, be bold. Don't shy away from experimenting. Implement fast, fail fast, learn faster, and make sure most of the AI projects fail not because of the technology, they fail because of organization issues. So make sure that you get your organization ready, your data ready, your people ready, because you're not going to be able to refine what you don't have, right? And there was a quote from Dr. Devi Shetty which I really liked, and he said, and I quote, AI is not going to replace doctors, but doctors who use AI will certainly end up replacing ones who don't.
Right. As we end, just maybe one line from each of you. MSME in the room preparing for an AI-driven future, one sentence of what they should keep in mind.
Use it every day, actually.
Use it every day.
Learn, unlearn, then implement. Don't get carried away. That's all I'm going to say.
Learn, unlearn, and then implement. Okay.
Turn AI into a co-founder if you are a solo founder. If you are two co-founders, turn AI into a technical founder. Experiment with which every day.
Right. Last line from you.
Yeah, I've said it again. I think just implement, fail fast, learn faster.
All right, thank you all so much. That was a really exciting session, really interesting session. I hope all of you out there listening to this have really learned. Use it every day. I think that's the most important lesson that I think we've got from all of you. Thank you so much. Great having all of you with us. Right, ladies and gentlemen, up next we have someone who's built a reputation for thoughtful policy making and grassroots engagement. He's blended his early background in business with strong public service values, and he's combined that into his political journey. He's known for his balanced outlook, he's known for his wide experience across different government portfolios, and he is a trusted voice for sustainable growth and for welfare. Please welcome Honorable Minister of Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution and Minister for New and Renewable Energy, Shri Prahlad Joshi. He could not make it here in person today, but is joining us through this video message.
Namaskar to everyone. It is pleasure to talk to you again. When I was with you last year, we spoke about the incredible promises of India's digital economy. And today, it is encouraging to see how strongly that promise is beginning to unfold. My heartiest congratulations to the entire Amazon team for your extraordinary journey in India and organizing this event since 2020. This year's theme विकसित इंडिया की तैयारी is rightly aligned with our government's vision of Vikasit Bharat by 2047. I was scheduled to attend this event. However, due to the ongoing discussion on an important matter in the Parliament during the winter session, I could not be here with you. Our government has a vision of consumer care and to empower the India's MSMEs, artisans and small entrepreneurs by providing them with opportunities, tools and support they need to thrive. E-commerce plays a vital role in this journey. As India moves toward becoming the world's third largest economy by 2030, retail, especially online e-commerce, will be one of the major drivers of the growth. The real champions of India's e-commerce transformation are the sellers and entrepreneurs present here today. You are the job creators, innovators, manufacturers, and dreamers fueling the India's digital growth. Your ambition and resilience are the foundation of India's confidence and a key part of our journey toward a Vikasit Bharat during this Amrit Kal. To address the issue of dark patterns in e-commerce platforms, guidelines for prevention and regulation of dark pattern was issued. CCPA issued an advisory to all e-commerce platforms to conduct self-audits and joint working group was constituted to identify violation of dark patterns on e-commerce platforms. I request all e-commerce platforms to take necessary action to clear the dark pattern, to protect the interest of consumers and proactively address consumer grievances and build the consumer trust. Our government aims to enable digital inclusion, create market access, and provide the right policy framework for MSMEs to flourish through initiatives like promoting Swadeshi program and Vocal for Local. Next generation GST reforms, abolishing unnecessarily compliances and repealing outdated laws under the Jan Vishwas Act. Initiatives such as Jago Grahak Jago and the National Consumer Helpline are expanding deeper into the country, ensuring that consumers are informed, protected, and their grievances are redressed. Our government is now moving from consumer protection to consumer care and consumer prosperity, focusing on both quality and quantity along with the better user interface. As we move forward, a Vikasit Bharat, our shared mission must remain clear to build digital commerce ecosystem that is inclusive for every entrepreneur, trusted by every consumer, and responsible towards our planet. Government, industry, and you, our sellers, are equal partners in shaping this future. Thank you once again. I wish you all a continued success and growth. Together, let us build a strong, sustainable, and prosperous digital India. Thank you. Dhanyavad.
All right, so that brings us to a wonderful pause point in our day. It's been a morning of rich ideas, big possibilities, and perspectives that will stay with us long after this room actually empties. But before we break, I'd like to take a moment to thank every one of you who's been joining us online. Your presence from homes, from offices, colleges, and workstations across the country is a reminder that innovation doesn't live in one room, it lives wherever curiosity does. Now, we are going to be stepping away from the live stream for now, but we are far from done. So for all of you who have been joining us online till now, do follow us on our social media for the latest updates. But goodbye to all of you. Now, to all of you who are here in the hall, the energy today has been incredible. Before we break for lunch, I'd love for you to step out and explore the pavilion. You will find immersive booths and live demos, real glimpses into the future of commerce, logistics, and digital innovation for India. These aren't just displays, they're meant for you to try, to question, and to experience. So walk around, pause wherever curiosity strikes, and make that experience your own. If you need directions, or session details, or any help, just scan the QR codes all around you. The Smbhav AI WhatsApp agent will guide you instantly. And when we are back after lunch, we shift gears with the inspiring stars of India's women's cricket team and also some really fantastic sessions. You won't want to miss any of that, so enjoy the break, explore, connect, discover, and I'll see you here right after lunch. Bye for now.